No
Let's do
beat.
it.
Acapella?
You want
Let's
me
do
to beatbox?
All right.
God,
Yo.
let's not do that.
Okay, acapella. Let's do this.
Okay. Here we go. Freestyle acapella. Sick ass beat, but not by this fella. Half Indian, half Filipino. 3 of us here, yeah, you know how we go. On the podcast, and we do it so
That's right.
good. From Sharjah, yeah, the best neighborhood.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Half a Nice Day podcast. First of all, Happy New Year, and hope you're having a great time so far. And today's episode, we have a very special guest, someone who we'd never met before, actually. First time we're meeting him.
Today.
Yeah, and he's so kind to actually offer his services, I guess, to be
And his
here.
time.
He's a rapper on TikTok. He does a lot of emceeing around Dubai as well, and a future podcaster as well. So look out for that, guys.
Exactly.
And it's no other than Hadi.
Are you gonna like? Is there gonna be like an audience, like a cheer? Are you gonna edit in like a sound effect?
I'll put in the sound
Yeah.
effect.
I was gonna say, if that doesn't happen, I don't want this.
It's just a complete silence after that.
yeah,
It's just
just both you clapping.
Hadi.
I like that intro, Josh. It's really nice.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I
Yeah.
practiced a lot.
You did
for
well.
that.
Yeah, but you missed out on a few things.
Okay,
Okay, now he'll introduce
fill it in.
himself.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
that's
come
pretty,
on,
That's,
please,
pretty much
please.
it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketballer as well. He's super tall. Like I wasn't expecting
tall.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
He came
Yeah.
in and I'm like, wow, you're tall.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, I hope we have.
And I had to
enough
pretend like I
seat.
never heard that before. Also, It's like, oh, I mean, I drink milk. But yeah. I'm taller than the average person, I guess.
Of
Yeah.
course.
6'2". Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Ladies, I'm taking. Just
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
every time I say
just gonna
6'2", my phone blows up, and it's just like gay guys like, hey, listen. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, especially in the Philippines.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Maybe
was-
we can start with that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
lived your life in the Philippines.
I lived half of my I want to say towards the end of my adolescent life and the beginning of my adulthood in the Philippines.
How was that?
So I left here when I was 16 by choice.
Okay.
And
Oh really? Usually
yeah.
people would never want to go to the Philippines.
Yeah. I wanted to do what people usually didn't do.
Nice.
Right.
That was my thing.
Took the road less taken. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was so basically I was born here
Right.
in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Dubai, and then we moved to Sharjah, which is where I grew up. Is that where you guys grew up?
He has jokes about Sharjah. That's why.
Have you never lived in Sharjah?
Never. I stay
So
near
you're
Sharjah.
bougie. Okay. I see
If you
how
put
it
it
is.
like that, then yes, I am bougie.
So you've never lived in Sharjah?
No, but I've
Okay,
seen
okay.
it from like a distance.
You've seen it from a distance,
Yeah.
right, from the bridge
Yeah.
across. It's
Pre-Salik,
It's really pre-Salik days. Those were the days.
Yeah.
It's very different for those that are watching that are from here, because people from outside are not going to know the difference. They don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's residential,
Yeah.
and there are more neighborhoods there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and this is controversial, but the culture there is stronger than it is over here.
Oh yeah, that's 100%
I would have to say
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
it may not be as forward as Dubai.
Yeah.
I guess I can say that. But yeah, so I grew up there, and I went to a bunch of schools over here, and I grew up with these 2 guys who are also they're half Egyptian, half Filipino.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And they would go back and forth and live, like they lived in Egypt for a little bit, then they came back here, then they lived in the Philippines,
Okay.
then they came back, and I was 15 at this point, high school, I was a senior, like a promising student, basically. And then I dropped out.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it at all.
Is this a Filipino school?
No,
or-
this was like a
Okay.
regular school. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with West Green. Shout out to West Green.
Shout out
It
West
used to be an English
Is
school,
it like a
turned into an American curriculum,
Okay.
and then turned to an Indian school,
Okay.
as all schools do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Even the Arabic teachers are like Indian sometimes. It's like,
Yeah.
what is going on in this school?
I feel like Indians are just like, it's their time to colonize now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, it's been done to us for so long.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it now with the
Yeah.
schools. And
True.
so I was there, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole idea of going to school. And then so I dropped out, and all my peers were older than me, so I had like a lot of different ideas and different views, from like older kids and stuff.
Of
And
course.
so
Okay.
I was very well, what if I didn't do this? I want to try something else. I want to try something new. So I dropped out of school, and the thing is with my parents, you have to have a plan. Like you have to, it has to be a fail
Okay.
proof.
We'll let you do what you want, but you need to have
Yes.
it in concrete.
So I had like a PowerPoint presentation.
That is so
This
cute.
is why I should drop out of school. Right.
change slide.
Yeah, don't do this. Don't do this, kids. But and the thing is, I had like because my thing was, I really wanted to perform, and I wanted to get out of here, right? So my idea was to drop out of school at 15, to take my GEDs at 16,
Okay.
and then go to the States and study acting.
Nice.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so everything was sort of going according to plan. Sort of. Like I dropped out of school. I managed to convince my parents, like, okay. I remember my principal was super psyched as well. He was just like, no one's ever done this before. I'll write you a recommendation letter.
My god.
No, sorry. He was American. Sorry. No one's ever done this before. So I thought it was, I was thinking of somebody else.
His
Yeah.
accents, it's like
Yeah. Joe Calafaro was his name.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Cool guy.
Shout out to him.
He wrote me a recommendation letter and stuff. He was just like, no one in my age group, does
Was that ballsy.
chooses to drop out of school to go,
Bless him.
and so
And not in UAE,
And not in
I
the
would
UAE.
say. Yeah.
So I dropped out, and then my father helped me get a job. It was for a production house. So I was always on a set, which was sort of like what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So like I was making money at 15.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was just like, wow, I could have been doing this the whole. Why was I going to school?
Yeah.
Money, hanging out with adults, going to places that you shouldn't go to. So that was happening for a few months, and then those two friends came back from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, come back with us. I said, okay, I got some money, I have some time. I was also a very dumb kid. I just wanted to do everything.
Right.
So I went with them, and they lived in Baguio. That was my first home in the Philippines. So I lived with them. It was supposed to be for like a few months, and then I decided to just stay there because it just wasn't here.
Yeah.
I wanted to be away from here so bad.
Yeah.
So I was there, and 3 months turned into 8 years, long story short.
Holy camoly.
But there's a lot of things that came, like, radio, sports, performing, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything kind of just like, everything was born in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
You said you did basketball as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like initially when I went there, it was just to be away from here. So like I was just trying to, I was 16, living with two of my best friends on our own in a city that's like college city.
Yeah, the world is your oyster.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All the things that you could think of, we did.
Yeah.
All the horrible things and all the cool things.
Especially in Baguio.
Yes, cold weather.
Exactly.
Sweater
Yeah,
weather.
that's where they
It's the
grow
best.
some stuff.
Exactly.
Right? And stuff, right?
What
So-
stuff are you talking about?
Trees.
How is that transition? Like being in Dubai, Sharjah, UAE,
Yeah,
and then
good question.
going to the Philippines. Like how
Tough.
is that? Yeah.
Very tough.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain mindset when you do that. And I say this all the time, especially like people who are half.
Yeah.
When you're young in your teen years, do it. You have to do it. You have to be away from here
Yeah.
for longer than a month. And so I understood that I had to be away for me to just be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
To
saying?
find yourself.
Well, yeah, to find yourself, but also it's just like, because, oh man, we're going to start talking about this place now.
Yeah.
You can't grow. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's like, it's a blanket statement, but like there's no room for growth because there's no exposure to actual reality.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
totally agree.
And this is why, like, I
Yeah.
get along more with halfies, or especially people whose families come from third world countries, because there's a different kind of culture behind that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was definitely hard. Like, it took me years to understand how self-centered I was, or how
Entitled and
entitled
everything.
I was.
Yeah.
How much of a dick I was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And being from there also played a huge part. That's my mom's country. But because I didn't look like I was from there,
Yeah.
so I had a hard time with that as well. So, oh, my stomach's rumbling. It's the coffee. So, growing up here and looking the way we do as well, we don't know where we belong, right? We don't necessarily have one place that we call.
Yeah.
I'm trying to speak for everybody.
That's true.
No,
you
is
say
that
that
right?
all the time.
I say it all the time. Like, even if we live here, we feel like even if we go back to the Philippines, we don't
Yeah.
belong there. If we go back to India, I don't belong there.
Yeah.
And even here, you're not even
Yeah.
like a permanent
Exactly.
resident or anything. So it's
Yeah.
like,
New term coming up. Put it in the dictionary. Fourth culture kids. We're fourth
yeah.
culture kids.
Yeah.
I thought we were third.
Because if you think about it, so we have our parents' cultures.
Right.
So that's 1 and 2, right? That's 2 different cultures.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
We have the culture of the country that we live in,
True.
and then we have our own culture.
Hmm.
We don't belong to any of those, but we have a part from each.
Right.
So that's why I think we're 4th culture kids.
Yeah.
But like, and it's so hard to explain it to people outside because it's different. And like people say, it's a culture melting pot over here. It is, but everyone's fresh off the boat here.
Yeah.
So everybody brings their cultures and their mentalities here.
Yeah.
And it's always restarted.
Yeah.
There's no room for you can't plant a seed unless you're born here. Like, see, like us, like
Yeah.
we have like a different kind of culture from those that come here from other countries.
Yeah.
It's so different. But going back to like your question, the transition was tough only because there was so much reality and I wasn't exposed to any of that. But I think the way we were brought up as well, shout out to the folks, like we are very, so it's like open-minded, yes, but we always question things.
Yeah.
So always ask, never just, so that
Accept
was
it for it is.
my,
Or like assume something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was how I attacked the situation all the time.
Right.
Why is it different here?
Yeah.
Why are there poor people?
Yeah.
Why is there drugs? How come it's not like, like stuff like that?
Yeah.
And then you just realize more things about the country you grew up in, which we can't be critical about, right?
Yeah.
Which is the main reason why I left, is because I wasn't really allowed to fully express how I felt, right?
And being an artist, that's difficult.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah. Because you have to express what you have in your mind.
I feel like it's a term. People, I'm an artist. I have to express. It's like, yeah, okay. That's given. Yeah. It's just what separates like an artist from like maybe like an average working person is that our ways of expressing it can be very intense or straight to the point or colorful.
Right.
I think that's what I mean. And so like the color that was coming out of my mouth growing up, not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
Not for here at
not
that
for
time.
here at all.
Yeah.
So I had to leave. That was number 1.
Yeah.
And then, so of course there's that transition. And then when you find your space and you find your circle anywhere in the world, really, right? So I fell in love with the Philippines, of course.
Nice.
In love with it.
Yeah.
And, it took a while for me to get along with the language, with the mannerisms, the culture, the behavior. And so, and I did a lot of volunteer work when I was there, especially for this organization that I shout out all the time, everywhere I go, Futkal, where we taught soccer to kids.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
To less fortunate kids. So I was always in the mix with the different, like, so it's just such a huge contrast in the Philippines. So you have, of course, the 1%, and you have the super poor.
Yeah.
You have the people that move there, the massa. So it's very different.
Yeah.
And I was always in the mix. And I think that was the key to how I am, or to why I am today also, was because I was in the mix.
You're present.
I just go back to like
Different.
saying, if your parents are from like a third world country rather, go back, go there, spend your teen years there, because it'll build you
Yeah.
so much. So yeah, that's the most that I take away from that is the fact that my character was built in the Philippines. So, having the time of my life, but at the same time going through the lowest of my lows
Yeah.
and being on my own. I was on my own since I was 16.
I was going to ask, like,
Yeah.
did you have family members?
I lived with my mom's family in Manila for a year,
Okay.
but for the remainder, like for the first part of when I got there, I was with my friends.
Right. In Baguio.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
you
I
moved to
moved
Manila.
I moved away from them and I lived with other people. Then I lived on my own. So like I did everything.
Yeah.
And my parents would support me, of course, because it was much cheaper over there,
Right.
which is why it was a better option as well. And whatever work I could find over there, the money I made went to the things that I spent. So like I did a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And so I lived on my own since I was 16.
That's crazy, because then you get to be exposed to all of the adult things
Yeah.
that you don't necessarily get exposed to when you're
Very
in
much so,
16. Like budgeting. How do I
Yes.
spend my money?
I'm still bad at it.
Yeah.
Do I have ramen for dinner again?
Yeah,
It's like all
that was my
kind of
thing.
stuff. Yeah.
I lost the most weight when I was in high school
Yeah.
eating pancit canton,
Of course.
pandesal,
Sarap.
and Gatorade. Yeah, that was my thing. That was what I did
An everyday thing.
every single day.
I wouldn't mind pancit canton.
Yeah.
With
No, if the packeted one, right?
Yeah.
The Lucky Me one.
Yeah.
the
OG.
green one.
Yeah.
I like the green one.
Sometimes I'll go bougie. I'll add some cheese.
Oh, dude.
Ooh.
Eden cheese.
Eden. Kraft Eden
Yep,
cheese.
yeah, just melt it on it. But yeah, that's the best. That's the best thing about being in that kind of mix is because you're brought down immediately.
Yeah.
You're brought down to earth immediately. You are not that special. I don't
Yeah.
care if you come from Dubai,
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
UAE.
yeah.
You're not that special thing, you know?
I have to say something about that though, because
Yeah.
being in the Philippines, looking like how you look,
Yeah.
you must feel that you're special because everyone's like,
That's
you
another
look different.
that's a
'Cause
discussion
I've
that I
gone
have
through
with a
that,
lot of
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That depends,
Yeah.
right? There's always going to be a contrast when it comes to that as well. Because one, being the color that I am, it comes with the assumption that I have money.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And also you fall under the stereotype of, you know, provincial mom looking for a white husband so that she can get away and have
Yeah.
pretty kids, right?
That's true.
So all my life I've had to fight those stereotypes because they're not true in my case. And all my life I've had to kind of sort out who I kept in my circles because of those stereotypes.
Right.
So I never knew whether people were genuine with me or not.
Yeah.
That was the toughest thing that I had to go through when I lived in the Philippines, is finding out that people will use you.
Correct.
At
Especially at such a young age. Like,
Yeah.
how do you determine that? Like, you're
Exactly.
just learning to be on your own. You're learning by yourself. And then you also have to learn around how to mingle with people
Yeah.
who are sort of using you. Because at that time, if
Yeah.
you're alone, you'll cling to
whatever you
sort of
think
any
is,
circle. Yeah.
Exactly. And I there were so many instances where I thought I was accepted, or I thought I was celebrated, or where I had like a big head and thought that I was special.
Yeah.
That's what people would assume all the time. The thing is, I spent a long time there. So it's very different. You can feel special, but if you spend a longer time there, you can start to see the real reasons for why you're being treated the way you are, or for, you know, what people really want out of you and stuff. And so it's very important to mention both sides, because yes, there were so many instances where I did feel special, but then there were just as many instances in where I did not feel special.
Yeah.
I felt like an outsider. I felt hated. I felt like, even with basketball, I bring sports into it because it's just like, every time I stepped onto a court, people intensified their game. They wanted to prove something,
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
were
I know
better
what
than
you
the
mean,
person
yeah.
who's light skinned.
Yeah.
And so I had to fight that sort of my whole life, which is also very important in character building. Also, not a
Yeah.
lot of people can do. Not a lot of people can travel, go back to where their parents are from, and live.
By yourself.
Especially if
Yeah.
you're coming from like a very, sheltered background.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to move out and if you want to experience the world, it is. It's a bad thing.
It is. I mean, just like me, when I went back to the Philippines, I think
Yeah.
I was 15, 16 as well, sort of the same age.
For college or high school?
For college.
Okay,
So I
straight-
graduated high
Wow,
school
okay.
and then went back to the Philippines. But to me, going there on vacations,
Yeah.
it was very different from living
there. Exactly.
So I lived there, and then I remember my first, I think I said it in previous podcast as
Yeah.
well, my first day
Encounter.
in school,
Uh-huh.
I was asking my mom, how do I get to the college? Because previously she would always come with me.
Right. You'd have
She's
to commute.
It's your first day. You do whatever you need to do to get to your school.
Right.
I'm like, but mom, I don't know. She's like, figure it out.
That's awesome.
And I'm like,
I love your mom.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then, I grew up here. There's taxis, there's buses.
Yeah.
You are in a bubble. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you would be protected wherever you are. And this time around, first day, and I'm like, Mom, where do I need to go? She's
So
like,
what did you end up doing?
figure it out. So I went down, I asked a
walked.
couple of
Yeah, you
people.
probably just walk.
I took a jeepney, but then I
Nice.
took a wrong one, so I had to walk
Yes, you
along.
have to get the wrong one. Exactly.
And then when you get some things wrong, you learn.
Yes.
So I was quite thankful to my mom for doing
Right.
that. Like, she didn't shelter me.
And then you became a pro.
Exactly.
Bayad po.
Exactly.
Tabi lang po. Para
Yeah.
po. Yeah.
Para,
Then-
para.
yeah.
Para po.
Para po.
And then I felt so bad saying para after one said para just close to where I was
Right.
going.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
went down
You go
at
down,
the
you
same
feel bad.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I
yeah.
realized it's the same. Everyone
I was an
does
asshole.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was an
Just
asshole.
say
Yeah, yeah.
para
Somebody said it
closer.
like 2 seconds later. Tabi lang po.
Yeah.
And you look back at me, I'll just be like, it's raining. What you want? I'm not gonna walk an extra
I'm in for this.
4 minutes. Exactly. Yeah.
No, but
7
that's
pesos.
true. That's the essence of being there, because you learn to be
Yeah.
thick-skinned.
Yeah.
You learn to adapt.
It's so weird
Yeah.
because we call it thick-skinned,
Yeah.
but for them it's just regular.
It's an everyday life.
You
for
see what
them,
I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah.
That's how every time when I think about it, it's just like, man, I'm so soft.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But like that's the truth. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But I loved it. That's why you should go, man.
You know, for me, I never had that opportunity, unfortunately, to go to the Philippines.
But you'd
and
visit though.
I visit like every year, but when I go, I'm like, oh, I have my condo in
Your
Manila.
special treatment,
Yeah,
right?
I only use Grabs.
Right.
Like if there's no Grab short, like when there's a Grab shortage or
Yeah.
a taxi shortage, I'm just like at home. Like,
You're
okay, I'll
such
wait
a
another.
douchebag.
So that's the thing, you know, and I feel so bad for it because like even like Janine and I now we have plans on getting married. So I'm like I'm
Yeah.
moving from my mom's house to her house, and I never
Are these plans? Are these mutual plans? He
is.
said it really fast, right? He didn't even look for your approval. He just said it really
He's
fast.
like, we're
and
gonna get
moved along.
married.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
The hooks are set. They're in. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, but I never had that in between, you know, and
Yeah.
that's something I will always regret.
But you know where you're lucky though is your partner has.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, she puts me in my place as well.
Yeah.
When I'm like, I feel super entitled. Like even when I go to Philippines, I would hear people like, "Oh, Americano." I'm just like, you know, like I feel that
I bet you like that because
I
you got
like-
Americano.
Yeah,
People always thought I was Philam. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just say
am.
yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
and it gives me that, you know, that ego boost. That's why I love going there, especially when I go to places like
See, that's the thing.
Divisoria
You
and
get
stuff.
the ego boost in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then later on it shatters.
Yeah.
It
Because
shatters.
they put you on this pedestal, you're like, yes.
Or
and then,
the thing is that you think sometimes that they put you on a pedestal, but it's
Yeah.
only for that period of time until whatever needs to be taken is taken.
Exactly.
Oh my god! But yeah, that's
true.
that's the feeling that I had after the first year. I remember like there was an incident where I was just being so. I was so full of myself. There was a girl involved. It was like, yeah. Like this girl that everybody knew that I was in love with, but then like couldn't do anything really because she had a boyfriend that was away, and this boyfriend was like this rich military kid. And then there was one time where the boyfriend comes back, and the person that I was living with, it was like my housemate, goes like, "Hey, listen, don't come out to the place tonight because the boyfriend's back. He knows what you're trying to do." And I put me in a bad place. Like, what do you mean what I'm trying to do? I'm not trying to do anything. So I go there and I cause a scene. I'm like, "Listen, man, like I don't know who you think you are, blah blah blah." And it's like nothing really happens. Nothing physical happens.
Yeah.
It was just an encounter. And then the next day I lost all my friends, like from that group. Yeah. They just wouldn't talk to me because I acted like an ass. I was
shoot.
put you in your place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so that was my first, I think it was my first experience with like abandonment
Yeah.
by people who
Got
I
it.
thought, that I trusted,
Yeah.
And then you just start thinking about what you say and what you do, And so it's just like, yeah, it's a great,
It's a hard slap to
it's
reality.
but it's a
Yeah.
great stepping
Yeah.
stone into adulthood, into maturing, really.
And you learn because you're like, I can't keep saying anything.
Yeah.
And
And
then you revisit
my
that
God,
moment,
yes.
and you're like, I shouldn't have done that.
yes,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the time,
That's
yeah.
cool.
yeah.
People go like live with no regrets. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be better,
Yeah.
right?
True. Just
Yeah.
move on and do better.
Yeah, just be better.
Than
Even I don't do that. I'm just like, no, I'm gonna stick to my ways, and hopefully something will change.
yeah. I'm just gonna remain toxic. And see if it
people
works
around
out.
me will change.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
That's a good thing. I mean, like, that's a key point. Is you assume that people will just play according to your
Yeah, we'll
ways.
accept
adapt.
it and then
And it's
adapt
just
to
like,
you.
get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, but yeah, that's so that Philippines was my training ground.
Yes.
I obviously want to. I say this. I want to die there. Is what I say to people. Like I feel like a lot of things that I do is pushed by the motivation to go back there and do something about the situation. Not because like, oh, I want to help the world or I want to feel like I'm, no, it's just the Philippines that I want to help.
Yeah.
Relax yourself. It's because I grew up there and I know what the place is capable of.
You have a connection with
And
it.
because of my personality and me being out and about all the time, the potential, and I'm only talking from the creative industry or in terms of talent, right? And I've lived in the States also. We beat the States. I'm sorry. We have better singers. We have better
course.
dancers.
No, but now
sorry.
that you mentioned that, don't you see that? Like I've noticed this a lot, that Philippines is obsessed with the Western world. Like
it's because
take on
we
everything.
were run by them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, and it's culture also. It's embedded.
Yeah.
And it's only to a certain extent though. Like you would think that it's because Americans go there, they're culture shocked. Sure, everything is in English. We love basketball. Sure, but there's still Filipino culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, like, and that's why you'll have people go like, oh, well, that's Spanish influences and Chinese influences. People have that in their blood and they say it. But it's just because we were run and colonized. I mean,
Yeah.
we were run by all these powerhouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's horrible. I think it's okay to have to be influenced a little bit, but then at the same time build your own culture. The thing is, when you talk Western culture, what are you talking about? Are you like music,
Music,
style,
film,
rhythm,
everything.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good at it.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Also, is we're actually pretty good at it. So like, yeah, that's
We are
fine.
amazing at it, to be honest.
It's just with the way things are run and with how the industries are so obviously controlled. It's difficult for actual talented people or people who can really move mountains, like people who are so good to get anything done.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. But that's like my soul, like that's my ambition, is to go back and make it somewhat possible. You know what I mean?
Put Philippines on a map and
yes, exactly.
Okay.
In that
Josh
sense.
too. You would love to go back.
I
Philippines.
totally agree with what you say as well. Like I think there's so much untapped like resources in the Philippines that people don't know about. Like the first thing I think that would happen is like the storm that Manny Pacquiao created. Like he put boxing on the map for Philippines, and then
They
a
used
lot-
him for it though.
Yeah, that is true. Yes. But
Yeah.
then he did make a very big scene, and he did put Philippines on the
Sure.
map when it came.
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
give him his props where his props is due. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
And then there's also on top of that, like all these singers, what you mentioned, who have like powerhouse voices. Like I could not imagine like someone from a province in Philippines could sing like this. Yeah, we always make jokes that you're just doing karaoke and stuff,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah.
Like they're training to be like someone like
Not
the
even
next
training,
Celine
it's just a
Dion
gift.
or something.
Yeah.
They wake up and they can sing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you, just basically like you. Yeah,
Listen, I
that's
don't want
what
to talk about myself so much. but- no, but yeah, that's. I would like to say that I get a lot of my talent from that side of the
Yeah.
family for sure. But yeah, it's more on also like I want to build schools kind of
Yeah.
and look for a system, of course, and work with people to find ways in where, because that's like my biggest thing is education. 1,000%. Like
Coming from a
this-
dropout. Though.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I learned a lot. I'm not saying I learned from my academics, but I learned by being in like a system that allowed you to speak or think or ask.
Right.
It improves that side of your character. So that's definitely one thing that I want to do is somehow look for some kind of system to sort of be built.
Again.
Yeah, I was just saying that if I did go back, I would like to work with somebody or a group and figure out a system that we can sort of, just like introduce. And like on a light scale, like small scale first, of course, like it would probably be like I remember when I was younger, I had this ridiculous like vision of creating another city,
Oh.
right? And
Yeah.
just like, just like introducing the system over there and see if it works and it can, but it's difficult. I mean, you have all these ideas and stuff, but that's essentially what I want to try and do.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
I think that would be really cool because one of the things that I would remember growing up in the Philippines, you were saying like ask questions. Filipinos don't really ask questions.
Yeah, very timid and
Yeah, I think we're brought to just accept whatever situation we're in. And it's nice to know that the new generation are starting
Right.
to be like they start to understand the importance of asking questions.
Right, social media.
Yeah.
Social media is there.
Via social media. So I think
Well,
it's
that's
great.
it goes back, which is why I want to bring education into the whole thing and like a system in where you expose the kids to that. It's basically what what I wanted to say earlier is I want to be able to somehow open a door for them to see that they can walk through it.
Right.
If that makes any
Yeah.
sense. That's the best metaphor I can think of.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the stereotype is they accept their fate. Yeah. And then they complain about it. Right. Which is not
Right.
their fault also because,
That's what they see.
You're a product of your environment. And I remember in the beginning it was so frustrating to me. It's just because like, I remember I went to school because I went to different kinds of schools. Also, I went to an exclusive, I went to a really good high school. Then I went to like a really, I want to say poor
Like public
school. Like and it's just the difference in classmates that I had
Yeah.
always baffled me. Ones with money spoke English, had dreams, had ideas. Ones who didn't had them as well, but then felt kind of like afraid to express them or to even chase them.
Yeah.
You know, so as a kid also, you just like, why? You know, you wonder.
Yeah.
Then you just realize also that it's just, you know, the roof is, when you're born into a poor situation, the roof is already so low.
Right.
You know, the ceiling isn't high at all.
Yeah.
And then you have these people who manage to climb out of their situation just out of sheer curiosity and will, and then they manage to do good for themselves, which is like, that's the best, because I know a bunch of people that are just like success stories in that sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if they can do it, then everybody else can. That's
Anyone can, technically.
And then you delve further, and it's just like, well, not everybody has the same mental capacity or will.
Yeah.
People have different circumstances, and then, you know,
Right.
it's very different. So the only way I could think of it, and was like how I said earlier, was just to expose people to the possibilities, use success stories as examples, and then if they want to do it, the floor is theirs.
Yeah. But just educate them
Yeah.
that it is possible.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And today for the most part, I'm a glasses half full guy.
Yeah.
I will assume that once they actually realize that it's possible, that they'll do it, because they're very capable of doing it.
They are. Yeah.
So,
but if
like,
you grow
we'll
up
see.
in a household where your parents tell you like, oh, you're dreaming too much, like,
Yeah, that's
you know, we're coming from
Yeah.
a poor background. This is all our family can
Yeah.
do. We can't bring you to a school that would
the idea
help
that you're
educate
born
you. Yeah.
to go to school, to then find a job, to then put food on the table for them
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy because you're already born with expectation. It's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And then I would like compare it to like the Western world also, with how you're basically kicked out at 16 or 18.
Yeah.
You know, and people make fun of it, and you know, yeah, we have strong family traditions in the Philippines, and yeah, but then I'm mixed, right? So I feel like a mixed way of doing things is good as well.
Yeah.
There's maybe some bias over there, but then that's
Yeah.
just how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, if people can see why that's good, and leaving the nest at an early age to build yourself, so that you don't have to, you know, feed into the cycle that's,
Yeah.
you know, you have to do this and do that, do something you don't like just because, yeah, and then it can cause so much difference.
Yeah.
So much difference.
I agree. I think it is difficult coming from an Asian background with that mentality. Like you grow up, you have to help your family.
Yeah.
Like there's already that
Yeah.
responsibility
Yeah.
that is put on your shoulders
Yeah.
without you even saying yes to it.
And that's why there was a big population boom, right? Because a lot of these parents thought, you know what, the more kids I have, the more that they'll be able to provide
Yeah.
for me in the future, which is also a very wrong mentality. Like,
Yeah.
even when I was growing up and I would try to get out of my house, every time I told my mom, I brought up the idea, Mom, I'm gonna try to move out sometime soon and see what else is in store.
What
for
would
me.
you say?
Yeah, I would just tell her like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she would be like, "Don't move out. You're gonna make me cry." So it's stuff like that, you know. Like, so I was
Wow.
very sheltered as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
So that's why I really love what you're saying in this podcast, because it's
Yeah.
like things that I should have been doing. And
Parents, don't guilt trip your kids.
like,
Yeah.
Come on
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
it
yeah.
happens. It happens. Though.
That happened to me too. Like my parents are very, very like my mom's very Filipino. My
Yeah.
dad's very Lebanese. So
Yeah.
you can't imagine what type of household I grew up
I
in.
can't.
With a
I
very,
sort of can and I can't.
my dad was very strict.
Yeah.
He's a very strict Arab guy.
Right.
So leaving the nest at 25. I was 25 back then.
Yeah.
Wasn't like 16.
Oh, I thought you said 15.
That's
this
when
is
I
when she
moved to
came
the
back, yeah.
Philippines.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
but I
okay.
went like I was living
I
with my
got you. You were living with family.
with
and
my
then-
grandparents.
Gotcha.
And then 25 when I was back here.
Yeah.
25 I moved out. I'm like,
Right.
no, I'm 25.
How old are you
this
guys
is it.
now? If you don't.
I'm 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
as well.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice doing things with people the same age.
How old are you?
32.
Nice.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for the past 2 years, I've just been around youth. It's so tiring. I love my guys though. Shout out to 50C.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna be talking about 50C
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
But it's so. How do they do it?
True.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I don't remember having that much energy when I was younger.
I was just gonna say they're full of energy,
I don't
full of
remember that.
ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's good. That's a
Yeah.
good sign,
Oh,
right?
It's good that you
yeah.
guys are 30. Thank God.
I know.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so I was just
Tita.
like 25, leaving the nest at 25. Like it was very tough for my parents, very tough for me.
Yeah.
It took
Was
me
it tough for you as well?
Yeah, it took me
Really?
3 months to like just speak
Get
to them.
acclimated. Oh, really?
Yeah, because I left and radio silence from them.
Bad terms.
Bad terms.
Wow.
But I was like, I needed it.
Do you have
know?
siblings?
I do.
Older ones?
Yes.
What
So
time did they leave the nest?
No, my sisters were living with my parents. Yeah.
Wow, that's
She was
So yeah, so she has kids living with my parents,
Yeah.
with her husband. So like a full family shebang over there.
Yeah, yeah.
And my younger brother.
Were you the only one that lived in the Philippines?
No, she did as well.
Your older sister?
Yeah, and my brother as well. So we all did.
Okay.
We all did. But
Okay,
my
okay.
brother lived in Manila.
Okay.
I lived in Olongapo with my sister
Yeah.
as well. So they're all together.
Right.
And then I left. And my dad was like, no, that's not going to happen.
Right, right.
He's like, you're not married. You're not even engaged. You're
Mm.
single and you're leaving. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm 25. So it took them 3 months to accept that
Okay.
and to understand.
This is very important for the people who I feel need to hear this also, right?
Yeah.
How is your relationship now?
Amazing.
It's good.
Yeah, it is
Back
good.
to normal.
Yeah.
Even better, maybe?
Even better. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I lost that resentment towards them. Because when I
Right.
lived with them, my dad's very strict. I had
So you had resentment
yes.
for them not wanting you to leave.
Well, I had resentment both ways because they were very strict and I couldn't live my life fully.
Got you.
So while I was living there, I'm like, why am I living this life where I could leave and live the
Sure.
life that I want?
Sure.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So the more that I lived with them, the more resentful I got for the
Gotcha.
things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I couldn't do.
And she had a curfew still. Like,
I had to be at home by 10.
That's I mean that's
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
Arabic households.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't with this.
Right.
So I left and it became better
Hmm.
because I could do things. I learned things on my own. I
Right.
didn't know how to do my laundry at 25, imagine.
Right.
Because I was living with my mom.
I still don't know how to do my laundry. So I'm still one
Right.
of those.
Yeah. You didn't live in Sharjah, bro. We already established that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's bougie. Now I know.
Who cleans your house? You have somebody come in, don't you?
No. She has someone who comes in.
Right.
I clean my own space, but yeah, I don't care about like what goes on in like the living
in the
room
living
and
room.
stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because your mom's there and your
I'm
sister's
pretty
there.
sure I could take care of myself if the situation came, but at the same time, I'll be like,
Okay, what's the process of doing laundry?
I don't know you.
I'll
I'll go on YouTube,
Yeah.
find a
Right.
video.
You know what? That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. People think that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, also we're part of that generation as well. Like, yeah, we're millennials, but we can go on YouTube as well and learn some
Yeah.
things. That's
Exactly.
fine.
Exactly.
That's fine.
I learned
That's how you learn.
N
Yeah.
number of things on YouTube.
I have no shame
Yeah.
in saying that. A lot of the things that I know now are because of social media.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not because
Yeah.
of school.
Well, yeah, we can make that argument also.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like my social habits and my was from school.
Yeah.
So like there's,
True.
good and bad also.
Yeah.
But yeah, learn from YouTube.
True.
Learn from YouTube.
I wanted to go back just a little bit. Like, how did you start with your music, with art
Yeah.
and all that? Was it in the Philippines? That's how it started?
In the Philippines is where it manifested into like sort of like an actual reality. Because growing up here, I was known for so you're of course the Joker, the clown, the class clown.
Right.
I did things that I mimicked things very easily, and that's how most of that's how the culture is mimicked here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I mimicked it very well, like like my accent. Like I was influenced heavily by American actors, comedians, and for the most part, I sound like this. Of course, it changes up when you talk to different people.
Right.
You guys
Yeah.
already, I don't even have to
Yeah.
explain that. But then for the most part, it's like, and then the things that I found interesting were from the Western culture, which is weird because I don't find people like me in that sense. It's so weird because when I lived in the States for the first time, also, I was 26 when I was 24, sorry, 24 when I first moved to New York.
Yeah.
No one believed that I wasn't from there. And then at first you're just like, wow, that's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, but then you also think like, wait, why is that though? Why? Because there are people in the Middle East who go to American schools and who are influenced, but then they look like a baby when they're in the States. They still look like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I had the weird mixture of being influenced by that, then living in the Philippines and seeing what like the harsh realities of the world had to offer. You combine that, I was okay in the States.
Right.
But why did you move to the States? Did you study there as
That
well? or-
my go back to my initial plan was to I always wanted to go to the States. I always wanted to go to New
Okay.
York City. That was from 15 years old. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But because I got sidetracked with the Philippines, it got put on hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was 24 when I finally made that dream come true, and I went to New York.
Nice.
Jumped straight into it. Didn't know anybody. Couch surfed. Lived
wow.
with a random random group of people. They're all so cool.
Yeah.
Hipster people, young, doing things in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. You know, it was amazing.
Yeah.
The best time of my life.
Yeah.
Literally the best time
So
of
what
my
did you
life.
want to accomplish though when you went to the US? Your
Perform.
rap
I wanted to
career? Okay.
somehow perform. So so going back to the question, like I did a lot of different things growing up that I realized that I was a performer growing. I did commercials when I was a kid.
Nice.
I was, you know, like an attention seeker all the time.
Okay.
That guy. I was that guy.
Yeah.
And then I would freestyle at parties.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it was a thing. Like you
Yeah.
know, like if we went to a party, I had a friend. He was like one of my best friends growing up. He would do the beatbox.
Nice.
We would both beatbox. We'd beatbox and I'd freestyle. The stupidest things ever. You not even like close to like bars or, you know, like dumb things. Like, you know, I know this girl. She's the prettiest in the world. You know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
People go
My
like,
favorite song.
people just go like,
actually.
oh, damn. You know? So I get hyped from that, you know, like, and so that was a thing that I used to do. Then in the Philippines, I sort of experimented with like just writing random stuff,
Nice.
recorded on like my phone.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
oh cool, maybe, you know, okay, maybe did like one thing, and then so that was just in my, like, I want to say, you know, like bag of things that I could do. Then I go to the States, and the thing is, acting has always been number one. That's always what I wanted to do,
Right. Ahead of rapping.
ahead of music and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go to New York. I go to all my dream schools, the Conservatory for Dramatic Arts, which is where Miles Teller went. I loved Miles Teller.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wanted to go.
He's
Yeah, I went to New York, NYU. You know, the acting program. I tried out for all the auditioned. I got into almost everything that I auditioned for.
Amazing.
And they probably tell this to everybody, but I got told by people from the industry that I had something also.
Yeah.
So of course, hearing that, you're just like, man.
I got it.
I got
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
This is my
so-
world,
This is the
yo.
best.
Yeah.
And I worked every kind of job in New York just to experience everything. I was homeless for a while as well. Did
Wow.
everything. And then only thing that bothered me, and it still bothered me, is I had no funds. I never had funds. I could not go to school. Even if they offered me like a 25%, 30% scholarship. Performing schools in the States are stupid expensive.
Yeah.
I've been told.
So dumb expensive. And so I couldn't, right? Try to get a full scholarship here and there. And then I remember the story that I say all the time. There was a guy, he was the head of, I think, international students at the Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. I did an audition. They called me in. They all liked me. And we had a conversation. We exchanged emails. He's like, if you have questions, I would ask him questions and stuff. And then I brought up the whole, I don't have funds, and even if you gave me a scholarship, I can't, like, you know, I can't go to the UAE and ask for funding. There's nothing I can do from the Philippines or Germany. I haven't, you know, lived in Germany, you know. And so I remember he brought me in, and this was a conversation we had. I remember his name, Steven. I remember his name. He goes like, so we have a talk about things, and he goes like, listen, ultimately, there are people who come here and they need to go to school for them to get acclimated with the culture and then go and chase whatever it is they can do. Then there are people who come here who are just naturally gifted, who
Right.
just have to try and something will happen. He goes like, I think you fall in the latter. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You know,
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm that good? You know, like, yeah.
Stop
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You-
He's just like, I honestly think that you are talented enough to just do that. You don't need to go to school. And I was just
Right.
like, oh my God, say less.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. You know, compared me to a young Vince Vaughn, he said. I thought about it. I was just like, Vince Vaughn? It's kind of funny looking, like a younger Vince Vaughn. Younger Vince Vaughn's okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So I was
can
like,
see
Yeah.
okay. You know, and so that kind of just like that gave me more fire.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, fine. Because I think the main trip that I didn't, the main reason for me going there, which I had no idea until like a little after, was for me to actually feel confident in what I wanted to do was actually valid.
Right.
I didn't know that until I had that conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay. So I am meant to be here.
Yeah.
And I got along with the city so well. People don't understand when I say that. I said it earlier. I said I miss New York like I miss a person. It's that personable when you live there, and it's a certain mindset.
Yeah.
You know, people talk shit about New York City, but it's still the best city in the world for me. I haven't seen every other city. I'm convinced already that it's the best city in the world.
Yeah.
It's just the endless possibilities, just the mountain of personality that you can meet. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
the opportunities.
everything you need is there.
Yeah.
Everything you want to do is there. And everybody, and they go like, oh, New York, they're so rude. they're really not. They're just so straight up.
Yeah.
If you're effing around, they'll tell you you're effing around.
Yeah.
If you're doing good, they'll be like, go, man, do it. They'll support
I agree,
you.
though, because when I went there, people were like, be careful of rude people. I was walking down the street and people were telling me good morning, strangers.
Every single day I say
And
good
like,
morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm like, I want to live here.
I'll be the annoying guy and I'll continue to have the conversation.
Like,
I'm doing really well. What do you have to going on today?
Like,
oh, that's amazing. I was just saying hi.
Just saying good morning.
I was like, well, you get consequences. Someone's gonna talk back.
Exactly.
But that's how it is though. It's so nice and they're so straight up and it's I loved it. And then so here's how music happened. So I remember there was a day. This was my second time there. I remember the second or first. I was there like 3 times. The first time was for 3 months. Second was for 6 months, and the third time was for a couple of months.
Right.
So, I knew like the subway like the back of my hand.
Would you come back here?
I love New York. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the visa situations
Right.
also. And so I worked everything. I worked at a haunted mansion, like a haunted field. I was like one of the scary. Yeah, I was one of the haunters, what they call them. I worked at a restaurant, a Mediterranean restaurant, as a server. I was a bartender for like 2 days before I failed badly. I'm horrible as a bartender.
Dropped the bottle?
Just didn't know what the drinks were. Didn't know what to do. I had no. My respect for waiters went to the roof after like working there. It worked. I worked for I worked for the New York Comedy Club.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I was one of the guys that sold tickets. So I was on the street team.
Okay.
And so I was always around that culture, and I was just doing whatever I could. I worked whatever I could. I worked for a company that provided catering services.
Nice.
Like I would, just everything that I could find.
That's so dope. Okay.
And so one day, out of like after a long day of like hustling, I come back to the place I was staying at in Brooklyn. I lived in so many different places, and I went back eventually in like my 6th month to the place that I started.
Right.
Like when I first went there, and I was living in the basement. I remember it was really big. I had my own spot, my own space, and then I was just online. And then somebody had tagged me in a video by a producer, and this producer had a number of followers on Facebook, and the caption was tag someone who you think can kill this beat. And the person that tagged me was a guy from the Philippines. So random, random. Just some dude that I went to school with goes like, "Hey man, I think you can kill this beat, man." And I'm just like, okay, whatever. All right, well, it's 20 seconds. The beat was 20 seconds.
Right.
I remember the 20-second verse.
Say it.
It goes like this: 20 seconds to murder this damn beat, please. I'm gonna be stomping all over like a stampede. Jeez, I wish I could keep going. I wish I could keep going. Something like that.
Okay.
Nice.
And so it was like 20 seconds. I did that, and I took a video,
Right.
posted it, tagged them, whatever. Got a message right away. Send me this video ASAP and your page. I said, what? This is from the producer. Like, is this a bot? Is this like, no, send me your page. You're about to blow. I'm just like, what does that mean? I don't have a page. I can make one. I don't know. Okay. Hadi, make a page on Facebook. Absolutely no videos, no nothing, right? He posts a video. It goes like viral for like 2-3 days.
Nice.
Tens of thousands of views. And I'm just like, what?
Nice.
Comments. All people from the States as well. Because the thing is, if you're I'm trying to get into an industry that's dominated by people in the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you want validation from people in the States.
True.
Because growing up, you're like, oh, Hadi, he's so talented. But Philippines don't know what rap. They don't know like the things that I do. They don't know. Here, they don't get the, I have to explain a lot of times. And so I'm reading the comments. Oh, who is this guy? Like, who's this artist? Oh, this is the music I'll listen to. Like, I'm like, maybe like out of like, maybe 200 comments, 180 are positive.
Nice.
And, so I'm just like, maybe I should just do music. Because everything is online anyways.
Right.
So then, okay, fine. Then I start looking into content creation. And then I'm just like, you know what? Let me just do this.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing ever since. Ever since this is 2015. 2016 was when I decided to put out like a YouTube and like really do content,
Nice.
Like my first few videos were so cringe, but I keep them on there just to remind myself. I thought I was going to make it. Yeah, like when I moved to LA, because after New York, I moved to LA. I was like, all right, if it doesn't work out in New York, I got to go to LA. Don't like LA that much. Loved my friends there and all the experiences that I had. Worked at a hostel, which is all my stories from there are the best.
Nice.
Could literally make a short film just on the hostel. And so, but that's when I started to really go crazy with content. I did the song called Can I Get That Number? Where basically I'm talking about, can I get that social security numbers? Because I want to be in the States.
Right.
So it's like a comedy type rap thing.
Yeah.
You know what?
Do it.
Should I play it?
Do it.
Yeah,
Play it.
Do you do full songs as well, or just?
I used to do full songs, and then I decided to like cut my act to like remixes and like little
like a single verse style.
Single verse style type stuff, which gets more attention. So that's, I'm just looking at the time now. I was like, what time's your doctor's appointment?
Go ahead, just do it. Do it.
I said, hey doc, I was wondering if I could push the appointment back. But this is basically the first ever. It's so bad. It's so cringe, but like, and I recorded it on my MacBook. I did a video. You guys want to see the video?
Yeah.
I'll put it maybe on my mic. And then we'll go.
Got cursed out by the homeless. Had some bomb fish tacos in and out was hella perfect. I mean, yeah, you need a car, but like the Metro's entertaining. Long story short, I kind of like America. And I can sort of see my life working out over
That Venice Beach.
Yeah. I had to get all the monuments. Yeah, all the.
Okay, let's talk about something within the flow. Let's say, hypothetically, I am not American, nor am I an Englishman, but I'm a legal alien. I carry 2 passports. I'm a dual citizen. Mom Filipino, father German, Egyptian. Born and raised in Dubai, spent a decade in the Philippines. Yeah, I know my situation is a little weird, but all my life I dreamt of being a big star, performing on a stage or in front of a camera. So, Uncle Sam, dear Uncle Sam, I don't mean to be a menace, but I got a little plan where I go viral on the internet and soon become the man, but I might need a little help from you to make it all a thing. See, all I really need is a number. It's not about just a 9-digit number. The type of number that allows me to...
Are you singing as well?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Again, this is all hypothetical. Coming to the States to find work, how unconventional. Super unacceptable. Why would people do that? Somebody better build a fucking wall and keep dudes out. But let's just say, for the sake of pretend, that I may have lied to immigrations on my intentions for coming to America. Vacation, but like really, I'm just trying to build an occupation as an entertainer. See, I'm just trying to make the world laugh.
This whole video reminds me of who's that guy who did the Chris Brown?
Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky. This whole video.
Yeah.
I love it.
Who was filming you? You got a cameraman? Or?
I had a friend that helped out who
Okay.
I had a falling out with after.
Oh,
So
after this
bad.
video, he's like, you
Yeah.
suck.
No,
Like-
not even. It was just like, it was a miscommunication that turned into like, that escalated into something that was bigger than it was. And then I just, it was really bad.
What? He got a good video
Yeah.
at least. Yeah. Is it still on YouTube?
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
Nice. You need to put up the link on the.
Yeah, but see how far I've gotten from like that to like the stuff that I write nowadays. That's why I keep it on there as well to remind me. But that was like
Like,
first.
remember your roots
But I
and
love
kind
the
of
Yeah.
stuff.
story. 'cause
It's
then
it's
you're-
very direct. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
you're
If it's for
talking
like
about
regular
yourself.
audiences, I'll
Did
put that
anyone
out there.
big see this that could actually keep you in America?
No, that's the thing. I thought it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was so convinced. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna start my YouTube channel, and then like this song is gonna go viral, and then like
Yeah.
nothing happened. And that's
Yeah.
a lesson you learn as well. Is you think things will happen, they don't happen. What are you gonna do about it? You keep going.
Right.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
started with that. Yeah.
you're still going. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good thing.
And it's so
Yeah.
cool because like a lot of people have valid arguments for why they should stop and look for something else. It's very valid. Like I'm not for the whole, like, it's gonna sound a little dark, but I don't say chase your dreams. I don't say that because a lot of people that do that end up like not ever reaching them at all.
Yeah.
Right.
There is the majority of the people who chase their dreams never reach them, right? So I'm more of like calculate the possibilities, right?
Right.
See how you can sort of like work your way towards that dream from multiple angles, and then do the work. And
Right.
then if you do the work, even if you don't reach the exact destination you think you'd reach, you'll be around it.
Yeah.
You will
So
be
true.
around it for
Yeah.
sure. So it's very different. But then now it's just like, my argument for me continuing to chase my dream is I sound way better now. And so it's just like you look at it and it's just like, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't stop because like I sound
Right.
valid right now. And
Because that's years and years of
Years
practicing,
and years
putting
and
your
years.
hard work.
Yeah.
And,
Doing your 10,000 hours and trying to find it.
it's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
A little more than 10,000 hours.
exactly.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. How would you say your music evolved from how it was and now?
I think I'm more comfortable with what I want to put out there.
Right.
I used to worry about like, well, will this hit, or like, will people like this sound, or like, now it's just like, I don't care. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do what I like. And then
Right.
people tend to like that also.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
And I say this also all the time. It's like, it doesn't matter now. It doesn't. Like, people, you come at me with like, no, you have to have quality and you have to have. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Honestly, because like there are people that are there that have made it off of like the dumbest things, like, you know, like let's say podcasting, like vlogging was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
In YouTube, just you and the phone. If you have personality, people will follow you. It depends, you know. If you
Yeah.
have something that people look for, they'll follow you.
Yeah.
So I focus more on the actual put in the work. Just
Yeah.
put in the work.
Yeah. And what
Oh,
you
no,
want.
quality. Yeah. You have to.
'Cause
Yeah.
Imagine you doing whatever people would like you to do, and at one point you'll get to a point where you're like, what am I doing?
That's me. That was me in
Yeah.
the Philippines. Yeah. That's why I couldn't stay there either. It's because
Right.
no matter how much I tried to do what I did, I always try to be fit in a box because of how I looked and because of
Right.
what I sounded like.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the few things that I did on TV was like the foreigner, or like, you know, the white dude, or like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
or if I'm hosting, if I'm singing, you do the cute thing, or like, you know, like it was just, I didn't feel like I was growing at
Yeah.
all, which is why I want to go back also and change that, because there are people there who have actual crazy God-given talent.
Yeah.
Like insane,
Yeah.
insane talent. And so yeah, that's why I left also. But yeah, it's just I don't know what I was trying to get to. It's just don't stop, I guess.
Yeah.
Put in the work is what I'm saying. Yeah, put in the work.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Like when you have a dream, you
Yeah.
can't just say, I'm going to get there. But
Yeah.
how are you going to get
Yeah,
there? You have
exactly.
to actually put in the work,
Yeah,
put in your plan,
yeah.
and whatever happens,
Yeah.
you've done your part to
Yeah.
it.
Definitely need luck as well. Definitely need luck.
Yeah.
It's so weird because nowadays, like for the past maybe like year, the comments that I get are, "How have you not been found yet?" So from like, "Whoa, bro, you're really good," to like, "Yo, this is fire," or like, "Yo, can I get a full song?" to like, "Why are you still at like, you know, like like not discovered?"
Right.
And it's just like, oh, that's so cool that people are now thinking like that, because it's just like, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know, I think it's because I'm shadow banned all the time
On TikTok.
on TikTok.
Why?
And like,
What have you
well,
done to
I
get
think-
shot?
I feel like it's because on a more serious note, like the stuff that I do, like the serious songs that I do,
Yeah.
has a lot of reading between the lines, and which is like songs, they're metaphors.
We were talking about music, so I'm gonna go back and say
Okay.
like
My style.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm more comfortable now.
Yeah.
And I also feel I don't know. I have a stronger, I'm not hard-headed now. It's more of like, I don't get phased by, you know, comments or like fake interest sometimes. Because
Right.
I've been getting that for like
Do you read your
10
own
years.
comments as well when you post stuff?
Yeah, but only to reply. But
Yeah.
I love negative comments. Love them.
Oh wow.
love them.
Haters and stuff.
Because
Yeah.
I love replying to them. It's just, it's
What
nice.
are the negative comments? Like, oh, you'll never make it? Or...
Honestly, no. Honestly, like, not to sound too, you know, like cocky, my negative comments are not even that negative.
Okay.
Some will just like, it's not that good.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay,
That's
okay.
it.
Right.
So it's just like, if that's my hate, I'm pretty good.
yeah.
You know what I
That's true,
mean?
yeah.
yeah.
But like, you know, like it's nice. Like to hater culture is so nice to interact with. A lot of people think, being a comedian also, right? If you have you ever had hecklers? No, in Dubai, I don't think it's.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
different.
I've
You've
had hecklers.
It's so nice to engage with hecklers, because a minute into a conversation with a heckler, they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't know.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes personable, right? And then you create some kind of weird connection with the heckler.
Yeah.
And the heckler just goes like, "Oh shit, I feel like an ass now."
You know, that's my goal, because I can't say I had too many hecklers, but I've had a few, and for me,
What
it's
do
not
they
about,
say?
Like,
Give me a joke, I'll heckle you.
no, I wouldn't do that. No, but I've seen people who like want to bring that person down. But I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I want to make you see things from my perspective.
Right,
as
right,
well.
yeah.
And I've
I
gotten
always
good
go like-
heckles as well. Like, oh, you're really handsome. Oh, or then I've had bad ones like, oh, dude, that's not even funny, man. You should get off stage. Like,
Right.
oh, when's the comedy starting?
Right, I love that. I
Yeah.
love. You see the Jimmy Carr's response to that?
Oh, yeah,
That's the
yeah,
best
yeah.
response. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
see
the whole
that.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes like his mom.
Yeah.
I like to do this thing where I'm like, what? We have a fellow comedian in that. Somebody give him a mic. Somebody give him a mic. Get him, and then like, please join
Yeah.
me on stage and show me how this is done.
Yeah.
You know, like, because you seem like you're the funny person. And like, you know, you just have this long conversation and make it as awkward as possible for the
For him.
person. And then he'll feel defeated.
Yeah. Be like,
You know,
what have I done?
If he does keep on going though, then get off the stage.
Yeah.
If he's
Just
that
give it-
good,
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You come here, you do this
Yeah.
because you're really good at it. But like it's you, I don't know. Like with the same thing with comments. It's just I engage so that I can have a comment, and then they realize like, oh shit, this guy's like commenting back to my comment. Oh
Yeah.
no, man, you're actually pretty. Like I'll get that. You're actually pretty dope.
I just
Like
subscribed.
yeah, it's like it's so weird. It's just so like I've also but I've reached a stage where I'm super not phased, but I'm also very like people are like, age is it's just a number. It's not for me. Like it's literally not, because as you get older, the people around you get older, and you worry about taking care of people also, right?
Right.
So yes, I do want to make it as fast as possible. It's not like, yo, give it time. It's okay. You can make it when you're 40. Yeah, but when I'm 40, my mom's gonna be like 70. Like that's not how I see things.
Right.
And so there's that urgency now with really trying to make it compared to like getting used to like the process. Now I really want to make it. I really
Yeah.
have to make it. But because I'm also lazy, I'm so lazy, right? I procrastinate so much, but I take pride in the fact that I can just wake up and write every single day, right? So I make up for it in that sense.
Right.
But like I need to have a website, I need to build connections, I need to make an album, I need to find producers, and all that takes a lot of work also,
Yeah.
which I have to do, and I have my reasons and excuses for not doing them. But like this is my next step, is to somehow before this year ends come out with an actual album,
Nice.
and then go through like the cliche channels of pitching it to like different people.
Right.
And like right now I've just been trying to gain momentum on TikTok enough for
Nice.
me to be seen by, people say, oh, music scene in Dubai. I don't want to be part of the music scene here. I'm so sorry to all the artists that watch this or
Right.
whoever's watching this.
Yeah.
I don't feel the industry over here. I don't feel it. I don't, it's like, I don't feel welcomed either. So it's like, I'm not,
Right.
it's like, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to make it over there. I really want to make it
That's
over
your
there.
eventual goal, right?
Because I visited there and I tried there and I saw that I could make it over there. But because of my situation and I have to come back here,
Yeah.
it's harder.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little longer. But I feel like I can make it over there.
Yeah.
I do feel it.
But I think that's the beauty of being on TikTok, because you're not just
You're seen by-
confined,
exactly.
to the
But
UAE
there
culture.
are restrictions though. Like you're only seen by, like, let's say, because I worked with what's his name, Anthony Tuma, Lebanese guy,
Right.
your fellow countryman.
Yes.
Great, awesome guy, super
Yeah.
funny guy, great singer. He was on France's The Voice, I think, or France Got Talent, one of those shows where he came
Okay.
up on top. He was handling the musicians on TikTok, and he would get in contact with me. And I just learned that when you put something out on TikTok, it first goes to the audience in your vicinity.
Right.
So your immediate surroundings are the Middle East, basically. And then it can be seen, depending on the views and the algorithm, by other places. So what he basically, in a nutshell, what I learned was make noise here loud enough for it to be heard somewhere else for it
very
to then
nice.
grow over there. So it's just like,
Right.
oh, okay, so I sort of have to build a presence here then.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll keep my name. It's an Arabic name. All right,
Yeah.
fine. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do that, but then I also feel like I'm being, like walls are being built around me to keep my stuff from getting out. I feel it. I don't know why. I don't have any research or actual numbers to tell you that it's true, but I feel it. I feel like I'm purposely being shadow banned
Right.
because someone somewhere realizes what I'm talking about and they don't want it to get out. I don't know. That's what I feel. Because every time I scroll through, and I don't get mad when I see stupid content make it. I don't get mad anymore. It's just like, well, how they don't have walls though,
Yeah.
So like,
Like, how
So,
can I
yeah.
get mine at the
But
same
yeah.
level
all
as
from
those?
TikTok only.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried like Instagram Reels
Yeah,
or
I'm
YouTube or stuff?
I'm all over Instagram and TikTok. It's like that's
Okay.
my
Good.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be, honestly, trying to be the king of, in terms of like rapping or like making music on Instagram and TikTok. That's
Yeah.
what I want to be.
Yeah.
So like every time I'll post here and I'll post there. And
Right.
then, You just see, because like I'll get like 1, 2, sometimes 10 a day, different followers or shared, like
It's good.
and it's good, and like I don't mind the low numbers because all it takes is one set of eyes to see something that they like. They can
That
change.
breakthrough moment. Or that,
Yeah.
that one
And the
moment.
more that you put out, the more that you're able to get it out.
That's my
there.
philosophy. That's it. That's really it. People go, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, well, think of it as like an ocean of content. I explain it like this. Like, so this is so sci-fi. Imagine like an ocean, but going upwards, right? Like it's like a vortex, like a kind of thing that goes up. And there are different levels, and people can just pick content from this little thing in the middle, right? If you flood that little upwards ocean, if you flood it with all your content, people are just going to eventually just be picking your content all the time.
Correct.
So the more chances you have of actually being seen. So I'm just trying to flood it. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah.
And I'm flooded with like quality content also. Because that's the thing. That's what I believe separates me from the others is I put quantity and quality out there.
Yeah.
So
Not just one.
someone's going to have to, I don't know if you've been following me recently, like I've been trying to get the attention of this one producer called Cato. For like years, I've been trying to get this guy to notice me because I really feel like if we work together, something will happen.
Okay.
Right.
I really do feel
Yeah.
that. So like the past couple of releases that I did were just remixes to his beats that he's put out there.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
We'll tag him in
like
this.
duetting him. Yeah. We'll do
Duetting.
whatever we can to
Exactly.
get him.
Yeah.
And I think that's people don't understand the hard work behind it.
They don't.
Like people think content creators just put out content. They just think about fun stuff to do, but there's the editing, there's the picking and choosing, there's cutting so many things out of that thing that you're just putting out.
I did a TikTok.
Yeah.
I did a TikTok where I showed people like the process.
Yeah.
Like I would wake up, basically, get in front of a computer, hours look for like beats that really, like I like.
Right.
Look for one, find a topic or write one line, go off of it, spend hours on the lyrics, sometimes 1, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
Sometimes I write really fast.
Right.
But then you get that, and then you have the layering. You have to know the software. You got to put it in. You got to record. You have to have a mic. You have to know how to edit, how to mix, how to master. And then you sync, and then you take a video, and you have to have a different kind of mindset for the video. And then you record, and it's, and then you just get a minute on Instagram or on TikTok.
And people just swipe.
So you have essentially 24 hours of hard work to have someone's attention for just 1 minute.
Correct.
So if I can get them to watch for 1 minute, then my 24 hours was worth it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's how it feels. It's just like when they scroll, sometimes that's why I give like content or like pieces of content the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, you could probably put some work in on this. Let me just watch the whole thing, This is coming from a content creator. But other people will just like, I don't like how he looks. I don't like
Exactly.
I worked on that.
Even a TikTok that begins with wait before you scroll.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna scroll.
I'm still exactly. And you can't blame him, is what I'm saying. But it's just like inside, it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
But then you have to think also, it'll just be seen by somebody else, so it's okay.
Exactly.
It'll just be seen by somebody else.
Yeah.
Then you get your audience also.
This is why you just have to keep putting things out there.
Keep putting things out there. Exactly. That's the honestly for like the past 2 years, that's just been the motto.
Right.
Just do stuff, man. Just put stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do a podcast? Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get a mic. Just
Yeah.
record it with something and do it. Yeah.
This is what we did a year ago, and we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still
How-
gonna keep pushing.
Like,
yeah.
if you think about it, well, I haven't searched, but like podcasts in the city aren't as
That's true.
They're not as crazy as it is in
Yeah.
the West. But like I know that there are a bunch, but again, the limitations are what set it back. Also,
So true.
Yeah.
we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We have to put a censor basically on what we talk about.
Yeah. You have to be
Just
careful with what we say.
so messed up.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Exactly.
The fact that I have to say that also annoys me. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That's
But
true.
my initial plan for a podcast was to make it a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
But because of the things that I say,
Right.
and the people listening, especially
Right.
the country that we're in, like we eventually moved it to a podcast. It's like a feel good podcast when
Right.
you drive to work or something,
Right,
or when you're on your
right,
way
yeah.
home, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
with
that's
what you're saying as well.
That's what I've been like sort of going back and forth with because when I start my podcast also, it's going to be a comedy podcast. And then of course you have these things where it's just like you think, well, you can't really be fully yourself.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, okay, let me take that as a challenge.
Yeah.
Let me try and keep it
So
a
true,
comedy
yeah.
podcast. and work around those little obstacles.
Okay.
Which I think is possible.
It is.
It's very possible.
It
I'll get
is.
annoyed a lot. I know for a fact I'm going to get annoyed a
Yeah.
lot.
You just have to work around the
It's
limits.
probably going to be a
that
few
you have.
episodes where I throw shit. Like, I want to say, I know I have a funny joke. I want to say, like,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then you just
can't.
take it on post and you're like, I have to remove that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like,
then all the
hit stop for a while. Here's the joke. Yeah. Just share it. But that's the thing though. But you have to work with what you're given. It's so sad. But
Yeah. That's how it is. That's
you work with what you're given.
We're
really.
here. We have, the confines of some of the things that we can and can say. We just have to work around it and just keep pushing.
Because there's no other way around it. If everyone thinks like, oh, I can't do that, then no one will be doing anything. So it's like really.
There's one way around it. Can't say it though.
Tell us off air. Then.
Yeah. Definitely off air.
So there's this podcast that's coming in from your end.
Yes.
What else is coming from you?
Okay.
Like what can we expect?
Great closing question.
Yeah.
Great closing question. So in the past year and a half, I've been involved with a brand called 50C, right?
Right.
And I sort of run it with 4 other people and am basically heading it with one other person who is Gab, who's the person I was talking about, who's your younger brother, basically. But he started the idea with a podcast.
Nice.
He wanted to do a podcast and talk all things basketball in the Middle East, basically.
Okay.
Hoop culture.
Right.
And it's sort of evolved into a bigger, larger than life kind of culture, and where we have people from all age groups, and not just in the basketball community, but from like content creating. We've attracted all these people, and it started with, we both had this idea of building a team to put into the league that we all play in for different teams. We're like, 50C should have a team.
Right.
And so we built a star-studded team
Nice.
who were also friends, who were all basically friends. And we've only played 3 seasons. All 3 seasons we've reached the finals. 2 seasons we've won, and last season we got second place.
Wow.
We're looking to win this season. We're in our 4th season. We already had 1 win against our rivals.
Nice.
And so basically it started with that. It started with the podcast idea, then it evolved into building a team. And the way I got connected to it was when I did a mixtape. I did a rap for them. He asked me to do like a song for one of his mixtapes. And we all just came together and we all just started hooping together. And then it became a family. It became a very big
I've seen
family.
this on your Instagram as well. Yeah.
It's so big, and it's so many. It's so cool because there's so many different personalities on this group, which make it what it is, right? And everybody, like, it's so. I don't sound like an uncle or like a proud dad, but like everybody is just genuinely themselves.
Okay.
Nice.
Which make it so wonderful. So the thing is, when we started the team, I was like, oh, we need a sponsor. We thought about it. We couldn't pay for it because everybody that hooped, we were all broke basically. And I'm like a bum 30-year-old, so it's like we need a sponsor. And at the time, I was communicating with TikTok. I was like, what if TikTok sponsored us? And so I reached out, sent some emails, got to sit with like the head of sports, a wonderful guy called Mo. He handles the sports side of TikTok.
Nice.
And he was so interested in what we had to pitch that he took it as a side project for himself. So he paid for our entrance. And we got
Wow.
sponsored by TikTok, basically. That's why you have TikTok on our jerseys. And I'm just like, at the same time, with the team and the group that we have, we're a perfect TikTok group also.
Right.
And so we have a few viral posts as well on our page, and people are always waiting to see our content. And, so we were the only group that does what we do, to be honest.
Yeah. It's
There's
unique.
nobody doing it.
It's unique. Yeah.
And excuse me. And so we started doing that. We started gaining momentum online. Then we won the competition, and people want to join our runs. Then we get like collaborations, and so it's like a really big thing now. And that's something that I'm looking to sort of bring into. Excuse me, sorry. 2022. I think it's the coffee.
Yeah.
2022. I'm trying to make it like an actual. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a brand.
Nice.
But like, we have end goals of like creating, opening up a facility, having content creating services, holding
some
events.
sort of agency kind of thing.
Yes,
but-
like a big, larger than life thing. It's like a community, basically, is what it is. And so that's basically what's been keeping me here. Like
Right.
for the longest time, I was supposed to go back to the States in 2020 last year. Like,
Right.
I was supposed to spend. No, actually, wow, I've been here for like almost 3 or 4 years now. I came back end of 2018. I was supposed to spend a year here before I went back to the States. But then after the year finished, COVID happened. And so like everything else kind of just, so everything kind of fell into place somehow. And 50 C's is what's been keeping me here so far.
Nice.
And I'm like one of the leaders on the team, which is just like, oh, I have purpose again.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just like, I'm not a complete failure. So it's like, that's cool as well. And we're funny. They're funny as hell. They're so funny. They're hilarious.
You need
and
to
they're
get them here.
They're good kids, is what I'm saying. Also,
Yeah.
A lot of people gave us shit in the beginning for like, oh, this is just like a group of clowns, a team that dances on TikTok.
Okay,
Nobody took it seriously. Then we started winning competitions. Then we started getting numbers. Then we started getting interest. So it's like, and it's all because these kids are just themselves. And it's like, sometimes we get like, like people will look at us sideways, and it's just like, and I'm leading the group, and I'm somebody that does like rap music. I live with my parents again, so it's just like, my thing is like, they're not out there doing drugs. They're not out there going to parties, getting drunk, making stupid decisions or choices. They're all in their early 20s, late teens, working on their game, being better people, giving
some guidance
back
and everything. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's the perfect group. It's the perfect group, and I truly, truly believe that.
Yeah.
And so like that is like 90% of why I'm still here is because of that group. And I think I could turn it into something that's pretty big.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's happening, right? From that thing, another thing was born, which was starting my own podcast. So The Fool and His Apprentice.
Yeah.
So of course this is going to be with me and one of the guys from the team, from the group as well. His name is Malik.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the fool in this?
I am the fool, basically. 100% I am the fool. He's so much smarter than I was when I was his age. But yeah, the podcast, so I'm the fool. Malik is my apprentice, of course. It's going to be a comedy podcast that has a lot to do with sports and life in the UAE also. And it's going to be unfiltered. So it's just going to be very raw.
Nice.
We're probably going to get kicked out on the second episode. Probably get shut down for sure. But that's something I'm very, very excited about.
Yeah.
So the podcast is coming up, and then
do you guys have a date of when you're going to release it?
Date,
yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Okay.
We just said we'll do it. And then once we have all the things, we don't even have a place. Like, you know how Rove has these rooms that you can rent out?
Yes.
We're probably going to do that for the first few episodes.
Right.
And then, but yeah, then also I'm just trying to build in terms of content with music, create my own website also so that I can get more gigs. But when I say gigs, so people think it's like music gigs. It's not. I don't look for music gigs in this. Like if you're watching and you have a gig for me, you think I can rap somewhere, I will most likely turn it down because I would rather MC the event.
Do you do open mics, like music open mics here? No,
I don't. Yeah, I'm not and like Ima's been trying to get me to do comedy for the longest time also.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ima, by the way, who put this thing together.
Yes.
She's the most supportive I've ever met, like in this country. Literally the most supportive artist or person in the industry. That's very, and but yeah, I have. It's not. I don't think it's a fear. It's more of I'm just gonna get annoyed if I get on stage and I try to do comedy. I don't know how you do it. I don't know. How you,
I say that all the time.
It's just like you're not gonna get what I'm gonna say, or like like the way like I talk. It's I don't know. It's very. And then I see other comics, and no offense to the other comics, literally no offense to the other comics, because I love that you guys are doing what you guys are doing.
It's difficult.
But like when you guys do the jokes that you do sometimes, and then you get laughter, I question myself sometimes. I question my reality. Just like if this is what's funny.
Yeah.
Then something is wrong with my with my world. You know?
I feel the exact same way, because when Ima was the one who really pushed me for comedy. I did it, I sucked, and I stopped. And then Ima kept like, no,
you do it. Exactly.
Yeah, like there's no other Filipino with me. I want you to like
right. Yeah.
And she's like what you said. She's like one of us. We want to bring the Filipinos up.
Yeah.
There's so much untouched talent that she really wants to do it. But I know what you mean, because even when the first time I saw a comedy show, I'm like, this is funny for you guys. I can get on stage and do it. But when I bombed, that was like my call back to bring me down.
Reality.
Why do you think yourself?
Do you remember anything you said when you bombed? Come on, you have to remember something.
He said, "My name is Joshua."
So I remember my name is Joshua, and I had this stupid McDonald's joke where I'm half Filipino, half Indian. So if I work at McDonald's, I can do the job of the cashier and delivery boy.
Yes, perfect joke.
Yeah.
Nobody laughed.
Yeah, and it was just
they were just like,
Yeah, and then I'm just like, this is like a Dubomedy open mic, and it's
Right.
like people have come to support first timers, and everyone like with the stupidest joke are getting laughed
Right.
at, and I get on
You
stage,
get nothing.
nothing, and I'm just like,
What did you say? What did you say when you bombed though?
nothing. So that's the thing. So I just kept saying my name and again. Like, my name is Joshua. Then I'm like, oh, give it up for Dubomedy for arranging this.
Yeah.
My name is Joshua. So at the same time, like, everyone knows this guy sucks, and they remember my name.
Right.
So it's like unforgettable. And I'm like, comedy is not for me. I'm never
Yeah.
gonna do this again. But then
You have to go for the cliche comedy comebacks, which is just like, tough crowd. You're just
Yeah.
like,
Is this thing on?
I'm glad that joke worked. You know, like, you guys
It's funnier
are
in my head.
So supportive. Yeah, like stuff like that. You have to always. I think that's what made it so comfortable for me is the fact that I could just engage with them directly, and it's not like we're already friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you guys are really assholes tonight. That's so funny. Like you're not gonna laugh at anything. Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
engage, and then
yeah.
they just go like, he's dumb. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
You make a fool of yourself.
Or
Don't
like
make them
you do a
laugh.
Rudy.
Yeah.
You're like, this guy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Am I right?
Shout out okay, first of all, the only person that I know who is an actual fan of Bad Friends also, which is a podcast that I listen to also. And you're wearing their shirt. This is so
Yeah.
crazy. You bought it off of Amazon. You gave them money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're a real fan.
Yeah.
I'm fake. I haven't bought anything. Yeah.
I know,
he has like probably 5 of their
Really?
shirts. And,
I love podcasts in general, and it
Yeah.
all started with Theo Vaughn. I don't know if you know him.
Yes, yeah.
And I've bought
The
literally-
inbred. Yeah. We can make fun of Americans, I guess, right?
Yeah, here we can.
Here
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's my favorite podcaster.
He's
of all
amazing.
time,
He's pretty
and
cool.
He's the dopest guy. Like, it's my dream to actually like talk to him one
Right.
day and stuff. But
You were on a show. Talk about it.
yeah.
You can
I
flex a
told
little
him, so
bit.
I got like not maybe 100 subscribers off me
Just
being
off of
on
that.
King and this thing because I pitched my
All
podcast
girls.
over there.
Watch out.
They had really nice comments from
Better
some
watch out.
ladies.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's
So that's what a half looks like? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
because one of our videos got viral off TikTok.
Which
And,
one?
We had a
A cutesy couple one. That you guys are
no,
cliche
no,
like
it
that,
was
aren't
that,
you?
One of those trends.
like
Okay. Which trend?
You know the ashamed, but then you said Ashamed, like you say
Okay.
Muhammad like 5 times.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
And like the girls comment like, "Oh, he's so cute."
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, so cute. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It went
The
quite
point
viral,
was
like,
we were a couple. We
Right.
are a couple.
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
But I don't know what
Smooth,
viral.
smooth.
How many views is for like a viral video? How many would you say?
I think anything over 10,000 views is
okay.
Yeah.
pretty good.
So this
Yeah.
one went really viral. So I'm like, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys became like a TikTok couple.
No, we
kind
did
of
like
thing.
3 and then
3
like,
more and
And
that's
then
it.
we
And you
stopped.
stop.
Yeah, we stopped because we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
It's
Just
not
do
us.
more. Take bits and pieces from your podcast and put it on TikTok.
That's the
That's the
plan.
thing. So I can't edit reels, so I'm leaving that to her. I can edit this full podcast
Right.
without any problems.
Yeah.
But like she
Yeah.
does like all the the
What does that mean
pop-up
though? Like,
thing.
what would you edit though? You're just gonna sing the sound, right?
Yeah, sing the sound and see the last episode we did. That's like
Right.
that's my like the toughest one I did because we did a year in review of.
Oh, so you had to pull back from like.
yeah, and then
right.
pictures
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everything. A small video here and there.
Oh, you're a professional. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I learned everything myself. Like she helped me a lot, but then
YouTube.
like I had
Yeah.
0 qualifications to actually be like
Yeah.
a podcast producer or something. But
But so Theo was basically
Oh,
your
yeah.
Yeah.
he's for sure like.
No, yeah, that little circle of podcasters, that little like with Chris and what's his name? The little older comedian. He always gets into fight with. That won't put a dent. You know that guy?
Chris D'Elia.
Chris Lee always goes on their show. So like Brendan is with.
Oh,
is on,
I know who you're talking
he's,
about.
He's like one of my favorites as well.
On the Fighter and the Kid.
Yeah. What is his name? I feel like such a bad podcaster.
I'm not
You gotta
he was
Google
just,
it.
He was just recent. My phone is somewhere else, not with me.
not a big fan.
So Brian
Callen.
Brian Callen.
Yeah, Brian
I
Callen.
love him. I love him only when he's with Chris Leo. Though.
Yeah.
But no,
Together
I love him. But like
Yeah.
that style of podcasting, that's what opened my eyes also to like, this is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Because people will like you find a personality or like a mentality that you jive with.
Click
Yes.
with, and you're like, yes, let's
Because
do
like,
it.
it's so weird because you think, because when I was younger, I was introduced to podcasts when I went to New York. So I lived in that little place in Brooklyn, right, with all
Yeah.
those hipsters. they all listen to podcasts in the morning.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like, what is this? So what is this? People are waking up and they're brushing their teeth in the kitchen with the podcast going on. And I'm just like, are you talking to somebody? Like, no, it's a podcast. I said, oh, okay, yeah. Like, I know what that is.
So that's how you got hooked into
That's how I was
podcasts.
just like, no, that's how I was just like, it's a real thing. It's
culture. Yeah.
Because you talk about it to people who have no idea what it is. Or just like, you just listen to people talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I also watch people eat. What are you talking about? It's a thing. What is wrong with you? It's content.
Yeah.
Because you get like, you sort of like, you relate to a certain kind of personality or just like a mentality.
Exactly.
And because a lot of times people go to work or people and they're just surrounded by people they just are either forced to be with or around. And so like if there's somebody that you connect with virtually, hell yeah, I'm watching their stuff 24/7.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't leave the house without playing Bad Friends. Cannot.
You guys are like
Yeah.
soulmates,
I'm so glad-
podcast soulmates.
You know what? When I first listened to it, I didn't understand the dynamic.
Right.
Because I didn't know Andrew Santino at the time. I only knew Bobby Lee.
Right. You know how I knew Andy Santino? Dave.
Oh, okay.
You watched Dave?
I haven't watched Dave, but I really
You
want
have to watch Dave.
It's Little Dicky's show.
Little Dicky's show.
And Andrew
Okay.
Santino's in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show.
Okay.
It's basically Little Dicky's life, but
Exactly.
like told by him, which is hilarious. And it's so
Nice.
good. And he's
Yeah.
so good. Honestly, when I found Little Dicky, I was ecstatic. I was like, this is amazing. 2, I was so bummed because like it's my idea.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's basically me if I
Yeah.
lived in the States.
Right.
Almost everything, pretty
Yeah.
much similar, you know? And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh God. But then I'm just so happy that somebody that made it because it just
Yeah.
goes to show like, yeah, we're out here.
Yeah.
Comedians who
Doing
can
it.
rap or, like people who have ideas for shows and stuff like that. Dave is amazing. It's a really good show. If you guys are listening,
too.
watch Dave.
I haven't downloaded it, but
Watch Ozark also. You guys haven't watched
Yeah,
Ozark.
Ozark.
Season 4 has come
he
out.
said he would bring it up, and it's
I'm
finally
telling
here.
Jason Bateman, first of all, you know him from Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
You know him from what's that credit card fraud movie where the comedian, she's like the fat comedian.
Yeah. Melissa Carthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're in a movie together.
Yeah.
He's in so many. He was a cartoon voice.
He has a podcast as well.
He does?
Yeah.
What?
Did not know that.
With 2 other comedians. I forgot the names.
No, Jason Bateman's hilarious.
He is.
But he writes, produces, and acts and stars in the show called Ozark. I will give you a quick synopsis. Okay?
Go ahead.
You just tell me if it's interesting or
Yeah.
not. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a guy who works in the financial field, right? What's the field that he works in? Oh my God. I have to know this.
Investment? Banking?
No. It's along the lines of insurance. Synopsis. I have to get this. I'll
He's going to read it out.
Accent.
I won't read it like after he's a financial advisor.
Okay.
Excuse me. So there's a financial advisor, right? Start of the show was just like regular. They're doing a regular job, advising people who come into the office. They have a nice office, a nice view, and it's just like he's a businessman. Okay. Then the next scene is they are visited by our cartel boss, right? And we find out that the financial advising is just a cover for their money laundering business.
Okay.
They launder money for the Mexican mafia. Somebody steals from the mafia, from this group of financial advisors.
Right.
Jason Bateman is one of the heads. He has no idea what the hell is going on. What? What do you mean someone stole? What? Sees his friend get shot before his eyes. See the people that is close to his friend, including family members, get killed before his eyes. He's about to get shot, right? And as he's on his knees trying to come up with some kind of plan to not get shot, he pulls out a flyer that was given to him by one of his clients, I think, about the Ozarks, which is a place in Missouri that is by the water. It's like a province, basically, if you're
Right.
Filipino, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, I can make your money back times something. And then he mentions the Ozark. He mentions the flyer. And then the guy goes, why are you mentioning why? He's like, this is where I can actually make the money for you. I can launder your money here. And the guy goes like, okay, so how much can you make? And he basically, I can double whatever it is that was stolen from you, something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, on a whim, this financial advisor, who is Jason Bateman, who we soon come to realize has a gift for sort of like staying calm and thinking of plans and just being very like common sense about things, but he's also very smart when it comes to money and numbers. We see him get out of countless situations and where him and his family are about to die.
Oh gosh.
So it was just suspenseful episode after suspenseful episode. They end up moving to the Ozarks. He has to buy a strip club. He has to buy a, like businesses to launder the money. And his family is now involved. And there's gangsters and there's people from Missouri that are trying to, and it's just like a war.
I thought it was a sci-fi show.
No.
Okay, then
Love
I'm
it.
It's like
mistaken.
Breaking Bad meets...
On steroids.
Yeah.
I've never
Meets
seen
like-
Breaking Bad either, so
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
I've seen a couple of episodes, but
Breaking
not the
Bad
whole
is
thing.
good. Walter
Like,
White.
Yeah.
like for me, whenever I have free time and I want to watch something, it's a podcast. So I never
Okay,
really
okay.
do watch a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got it. You told us you were bougie in the beginning.
Yeah. We've established that.
Let me get all the knowledge.
That's what I
and
thought when every time I woke up in Brooklyn, I'm like, man, they must be so smart.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, it's not comedy podcast. It's like information, like
TED
informative.
Talks and everything.
TED Talks, science. There's somebody that's trying to be like, I remember like the person that owned the house was trying to be she's studying to be a midwife. So it's like
Wow.
science stuff and there's this and there,
Yeah.
And it's so cool. I'm just like, it's so cool. You guys are so bougie.
To
And
me,
then-
like podcasts is it really taught me a lot because any topic that you could think about, whether you want to learn more about science
Right.
or education
Yeah.
or TV shows, everything
Yeah.
would be on a podcast.
On a podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And someone can digest that information and make it out better for you.
Yeah.
Instead of like reading 1,000 pages.
Right.
Someone would digest that and then you have an hour of a podcast.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
I like the way this person describes what photosynthesis is.
Exactly.
So I'm going to listen to this podcast. Yes.
Exactly.
How to take care of your plants.
Imagine a
101,
podcast
like
that
all
just all they talk about is photosynthesis.
I'm sure there's one of those.
There probably is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
100%.
mitochondria and the way it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to have a soothing voice.
Is this what we're going to hear from your podcast?
Probably. I'm going to be talking about chloroplasts and mitochondria. That's all I remember from science class.
But there's a podcast for everything. Even like The Office ladies. I don't know
Yeah.
if you heard it. It's just literally every episode is about each episode of The Office, but the commentary.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah.
Commentary
So
on The
it's like-
Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it
And
because
New
it gives
Girl
you
is
behind the
also
scenes of
yeah,
what.
yeah.
So if
It's
you're
like
a true fan,
YouTube videos of people reacting to stuff that they like.
Yeah.
Or like episodes of. Do you watch anime or like.
Used to.
You used to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've
bougie.
Yeah. Little
I used to
judgment.
be
little
a-
judgment, but
no,
okay,
I-
all right.
No, I
Who
used to
stops
be
watching
really
anime?
watching anime a lot growing up, but then I'm like, I outgrew it.
Right. Get back into
unfortunately.
it. Come on. Come on.
There's only so much things I can retain here.
I know what you mean. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like, you know what? I can actually be smarter than I am, right? I can actually hold a lot of information, right?
Right.
But the thing is, like, as much as if I could sit down and read a book, but my mind will only absorb the things that it's interested in or it feels
true.
is
Very, very
important to you. So, like, for me, because of the countless stress I have on myself with trying to make it, with writing music and with trying to survive in life and stuff, I feel like I can't open another door for me to
Explore
absorb
something
other
else.
information, which sucks.
Yeah.
I want to be smart.
Yeah.
I want to have like a are you guys talking about mitochondria? We're going back to that.
Yeah.
yeah. That we're always gonna go back to yeah.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, photosynthesis.
Yeah.
I'd love to just have these things to say because the same thing. I think that house in Brooklyn was a huge influence on me because everybody had something to say at the dinner table or like when we were just chilling in the living room or just like
Right.
with facts or with because the thing is with Americans they have this huge. I don't even think it's a like. I think it's just it's a thing that you're taught in the beginning. This like. You just have a habit of just knowing things and knowing things is better.
Yeah.
We'd walk down the street and the guy would be like, oh, look at the bricks on this house. It's definitely like an old, like a Spanish. And I'm just like,
How did you know that?
I didn't ask you that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah.
But thank you. I feel much dumber, right? but this is what I'm saying is that they know a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that was my first time introduced to like people who are like lactose intolerant or like vegans or vegetarians or people who had different views on things or even like something that's like a hot topic like mental health. Sorry,
Yeah.
mental health. And so it's just like another thing going back to like realizing that there's reality outside of the city is
You have
you come
to.
into close contact
You
with
have
all of
to.
that and it's just like, well, how do I deal with all of this? Like, damn, I felt
Yeah.
so dumb.
Yeah. And you feel inferior to everyone
Yes.
else. Yeah.
But here's a cool thing about my experience was they made sure that I never felt like that.
That's so
Nice.
nice.
And the only thing, and the thing is, I was more appreciated because what I brought to the table was experience.
Right.
and stories, like living in the Philippines
Yeah,
and the Middle East.
Living
and
in the UAE.
Every time they're just like, what? Like it's just like I like, not to say that I was trying to be better or anything, but I trumped like their little pieces of information or their food for thought or like whatever it is they knew with my experiences and my stories.
Yeah.
Because people have no idea what it's like.
They don't.
They
Especially in the Middle East. Like they have this mentality of how things are here.
Yeah.
And then they actually meet.
Like, what's the cliche joke you get when you tell people you grew up in the Middle East?
Camels,
yeah.
Ferraris, all that
Right.
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people, especially during that
You
time,
know how
Rob,
messed up it is? It has to be either a camel or a Ferrari. Why?
to extremes as well.
Why can't I? What's wrong
Yeah.
with like a Corolla?
Yeah.
Why is it only those two choices?
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have a camel? Oh, so you have a Ferrari? Like, no, man. Like,
There's
come
an
on.
in between.
Yeah. Like
That's us.
cycle.
We
There's a
are the
cycle.
in between.
I have a Lexus. Relax.
Exactly.
But like,
Yeah.
what's another stereotype? Like
To me as a girl, like, oh, do you have to cover your hair?
Right.
And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's
they
not.
just go like,
Like, can I show my shoulders or something?
Even in King of this thing, remember? They were asking you,
Oh yeah. They were asking how. Oh, so like.
does she have to cover herself?
yeah,
like,
yeah,
ki-
they're-
like
oh, I
asking
hope you were a good
everything.
spokesperson for it.
Yeah.
What did you say?
No, I remember saying like it's not as bad as what the media portrays it to be.
But the media portrays it to be good, though.
No, like not. But
in
not,
terms of women, like
Oh,
he
okay,
said,
okay.
like, oh, she can actually go out with like booty shorts if she wanted to.
Yeah,
like,
but if you're in there, then it's
Yeah,
it's-
then it's a
you
pro-
think twice about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people also. It's just like, well, no, there are specific places where you can do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, come
like
on.
especially this new thing going out where people are walking naked on the road.
We'll talk about it? I think we can, right?
We can. It's
it got
out.
on- it
It's
got on
out.
Netflix,
Yeah.
right?
It's on Love in Dubai.
Yeah,
It's on
people are
everything.
talking about it.
Love in Dubai.
Yeah. How crazy
I
is that?
love that page.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the
I'll tell you about Love in Dubai off air, but yeah.
the article. I feel like it's safe to talk about it because I did read. I don't know if the article came from here though,
Right.
but there is a synthetic drug that's right.
It seems. I mean,
Yeah, which is
wh-
wrong.
that's it's
Very
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
XXXS.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it, right?
But that's the only logical explanation to it.
Yeah.
Like, why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Wait, how many people do you know have been naked in UAE?
Do I know personally?
No.
All my friends. yeah. We have a little thing later on. Maybe we'll gathering. Yeah.
Because initially I thought it was one, then two came out, and as of yesterday I found there are 5.
So we were just having a conversation about this yesterday,
Oh,
Yeah,
look
mine
at
was just
Molly.
yesterday as well.
Yeah.
and and not to be too graphic or anything, but I have all those videos that you're talking about.
That's crazy.
It's okay. I think we reached a part of a podcast where people have tuned out, so we can talk about
Yeah,
this stuff
1,
anymore.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there.
6? Okay, there's one more.
I'm gonna
today
look
then.
at that later.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm like, what is happening to the world? I don't know.
No, what he said was true, but I won't repeat it. But even I have exact same sentiments about
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
is
Which is
going
wrong.
on.
Wrong. You shouldn't do it at all on any level.
very wrong. Also, people, if you get offered food or drinks by random strangers or you're at a party or something, don't.
No.
Say no.
Say
Cover
no,
your drink
don't.
every time you're in a club or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Just
Matter of
make sure
fact,
nothing
don't
goes
go
in.
to
coffee.
parties. Don't go. You know what? Don't have a good. Just stay home.
Yes.
Stay home.
Stay home. Have
It's
a podcast.
It's a tough year. We want to make sure that everybody's safe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Come on.
Exactly. Have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
podcast. Talk about these things that are happening
Read a book.
outside.
Yeah.
Read a book.
No, but
Judge
there, I
people
mean, there
out.
was, just a mental illness as well was written in an article.
Yeah.
So we can have opinions
Right.
about things, but at the same time, that was written as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, we live in times, uncertain times.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen
Yeah.
at any moment. So,
My naked guy might just like.
exactly, right outside my balcony. I
I'll
hope
just
not.
start slipping out. Like, I'll just sit naked for this podcast.
I hope not. I just want to. Is there any other question that you have before we like sort of close this and then hop on our topic later?
I had a question, but I think we're too far in the podcast to bring it up again.
Oh,
But
bring it up, man.
Bring
No,
it
no,
up.
'cause
You
I
cut
wanted-
it and put it up.
no, I wanted to know how your parents met.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Definitely not on Tinder like you guys. Is that a public thing that people know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. I should have made sure first.
Yeah.
So my mom, basically on a whim with a friend who wanted to come to the Middle East and work, signed up at an agency,
Mm-hmm.
ended up working at a hotel, and made a friend who was planning on seeing a man that she had met, right? from Abu Dhabi,
Right.
right? And I'm not so sure if the story is absolutely correct, but so my father was asked by this guy to accompany him to come to Dubai to meet this girl. My father goes like, yeah, she's bringing a friend too, and that's how they met. And then from the funny story that comes around the table is they had agreed to meet again, my mom and my dad, but apparently, but they both felt like they stood each other up or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but like there was miscommunication. No Instagram.
There's no cell phones.
There's nothing.
You just have to call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to shout
That's
really
it.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just hope for the best. Is
Exactly.
basically what it is. Imagine living in those times.
I can.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. You have to be punctual.
Are you here? Like, you have to walk into like a cinema house or like what did they have cinemas back then?
Yeah.
They probably did, right?
The one with the red hat.
Yeah.
I guess buy red
Like,
hat because no one.
To the girl that I met yesterday. I forgot your name. I'm sorry.
Are you here?
Where are you? Yeah. I think you're cute. And then so like they met and then they kind of like resolved things and then they met again and then they started going out and then they were like into disco, I think, or
Yes.
my dad had like an afro at some point.
I love it.
You know what's crazy is at one point our parents were actually cooler versions of ourselves.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think like, oh, my parents are
Nerds.
so lame.
Yeah.
They were so lame. No, my dad was cooler than I was.
Yeah.
He had an afro. He used to break dance.
Oh my gosh.
My mom was like a beauty queen.
Love it.
And it's just like, oh, okay, I'm lame. Yeah.
So this whole like being an artist and being a performer comes from your parents,
Yeah.
like
You could-
naturally.
my dad comes from a family of people who work in the media industry.
Okay.
So there's journalists and writers and radios involved and stuff. And my mom is just a hard worker who for the longest time has been basically the person that, made sure everybody was okay.
Nice.
And so like the hard work and hard-headedness comes from my mom, and the chasing what I believe is right for me comes from my dad because he left the life of like the suit and tie. He used to be like the general manager of like
The corporate
hotels.
life and stuff.
He left the corporate life because he loves nature. So he's been in the desert. He's been in the tourism industry for like the longest time.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
30 plus years basically. And we're 25 plus years. And like he's one of the pioneers when it comes to tourism. So he's like a
Nice.
tour guide. He knows everything about this country. He knows everything about the desert. He lives in the desert. So like, he left everything. And with, all the financial crises like that have happened, like with 9/11 or with, like
2008,
recession,
2009.
or COVID, his business has always been attacked, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's still doing it,
Yeah.
so that's where I get it from.
Kudos to
resilience.
to your parents for like
Yeah.
instilling those
Yeah.
values in
without
you.
even knowing.
Yeah.
That's so weird because as you get older, you realize, my parents did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that phase where he's like, oh man, my parents suck.
Yeah.
I ain't my parents. They don't want me
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Like, relax, kid.
Yeah.
They want the best for you. Trust me.
I'm pretty sure once we become parents, we're gonna be the exact same
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
and we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh right, this is what
You'll never
actually-
be able to say that to a teenager because at that phase their mind is closed.
Right.
They're like,
Yeah,
hey,
like
them.
don't control
I'm
me.
gonna say that to them though. If I have
Yeah.
a kid, I'm like, listen, it's nature.
Yeah.
You're just going according to the book, man. You don't
Exactly.
really hate me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, Dad, I really hate you, man. Yeah.
One day you're gonna love me. We're gonna have an amazing relationship, but at this time
Yeah.
you're gonna hate
Yeah.
me.
You keep calling me by the wrong name, Dad. That's because I get mixed up sometimes. I'm sorry.
like 5 of you right now.
No, I'm the only child. I might see some. I
That
might see
you know
some,
of.
I might go to
That you
therapy.
know
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna be a horrible father. No, but that's so cool. You end up being like your parents. It's so
That
cool.
is so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that
Repeats
the
itself,
resiliency
that
from
circle
Yeah.
of life.
Kudos to our parents for being like amazing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
We love
like
them.
like people from different cultures and different countries. When that's I'm so hot and cold with that.
Yeah.
Because you see couples sometimes from different backgrounds and different cultures, and it's just like, well, you get lost in translation,
Yeah.
right? There are people who, and like for me, like as a comedian, also like laughing is a huge part of it. You have to laugh at the same things.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Like I get so weirded out when I see two like like an Arabic person in the Philippines and they're with their friends and they start talking about the other person in their language and it's like this one laughs and it's like that's so weird though. Don't you guys want to be like together and everything,
Yeah.
But then you have the ones that get it and they click and like You know, like thankfully, like my parents are like that as well.
Yeah.
But like it's so hot and cold with that. It's just like
Yeah.
I feel like I want to have a say in like which mixed marriages.
Yeah. It has to be.
Not y'all.
Yeah.
No.
You don't.
Not
maybe
gonna
not.
work out. Yeah.
3 years and you'll be out together.
No, but I think it is important, as you said, to
Yeah.
have that commonality between
Yes.
each of the culture.
Right.
And I guess it just depends on the personality of the people as well.
And the love
Yeah.
language, I guess. Some
Exactly.
people are just like, you know,
Yeah.
I like touch my husband, you know, and the guy's just like, I like she touched me, you know, like, oh, that's it, okay, that's get married then, you know, I guess different love language.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that we're with mixed people. Our partners are also mixed
Yes.
because let's face it,
Yeah.
there's probably a fact you can Google it. Mixed kids will rule the world.
Yeah.
They will.
100%.
How many times did we say this?
We're gonna solve, inequality.
Yeah.
We're gonna solve world hunger. We're gonna solve racism.
Yeah.
Mixed kids are gonna solve all of that.
Yeah.
Definitely, 100%.
We have a different passion for actually doing those things because we've lived,
Yeah,
whatever we want to solve. Like
Right.
inequality, we have both sides.
100%.
We
Yeah, we
understand
get
it.
it from
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
sides of the spectrum.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I like what you said about the love language thing because when we started dating, she made me
Right.
do all these.
What, you courted her?
Huh? No, like when we started dating, she made me do a
did, a
quiz
little
on,
bit,
on
yeah.
a love language, and then I have to do.
You did a test?
Yeah, she made me.
Yeah,
not
there's
like
like a- like
the
a
love
written test?
No, like the love language. What's it called?
Love language
Yeah,
test.
so basically,
Yeah.
like I fill up all these.
Wait,
things
when
in
did you
it.
guys meet? How old were you?
Two years ago.
2
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
She made me do what's that other one? The other personality test. You made
Yeah.
me do all these things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So I think this is like the longest podcast we ever recorded for
Yeah.
sure. And there's gonna be like so many in between conversations that we had,
Yeah.
which we didn't.
I love it,
even
though.
Put in.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here. I know you're a
Yeah.
busy guy. You have a lot of things to do. Like after this, you have some basketball games and
So busy, my God. We had to get my agent to get me. I'm really not busy at all.
Yeah.
driver's still waiting
Yeah,
downstairs.
he's waiting downstairs. The naked
Ferrari
guy.
with
Yeah.
or the camel.
And the
what do you
Ferrari
have?
with the camel also, just in
All
case.
together.
Yeah.
Being towed.
Because sometimes there are no
Ferrari.
roads. I have to get on the sand, and so I just
Right,
jump.
right. The
yeah.
4x4, the camel.
Right.
Like you're parking. You had to park in the sand.
Yeah. That's full Jadaf. You can park in the sand
Yeah.
anywhere you want.
Yeah, that's how we always. I just right there. I just park
Catch
it,
a parking.
exactly right there, and then Sarah comes out, and then we just meet up over there.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally right there. It's so weird. Yeah,
But she's working today, or
she's at a hike.
oh yeah, you mentioned this.
Yeah.
We're gonna have her here.
Yeah.
Oh
She
yeah,
should
for
be
sure.
back.
For sure.
Yeah.
She recognized you as soon as I showed her the podcast.
I remember
page.
her, and I saw her on
She
your
was just
story.
like, you probably wouldn't remember me.
No, she even checked me in the airline one, so I remember her like, "Hey Josh," I'm like, "Oh Sarah,
Yeah,
nice to see you."
she's
So
saying she's home and she
sad.
needs to rest. I'll say I'm right across the street. Literally. But yeah, I literally have all the time in the world for people who want to do podcasts and for people who want to do stuff like this. I'll drop anything and everything, so it's fine.
No,
which
but I'm
is
so
why.
glad you agreed. Like you were one of the easiest guys to get on the podcast.
Right.
I'm not saying it in like a negative way, but
Right.
like you were so open to it, and you don't want any questions. Like let's save
Yeah.
it all for the.
No, that's what I
podcast
loved
and
when
That's
you
because
said
I'm
no questions.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah. No,
because I am the best.
I'm literally built different. Yeah. No, because I know also for a fact I'll watch a few things if I'm gonna get interviewed or if I'm gonna see someone. I'll see and I'll say okay, the number one thing that I knew was going to happen that I did not have to check or worry at all was the fact that we're all half also.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
It's just
that
gonna flow.
is off the boat. It's going to flow 100%. So
Yeah.
I knew that. So I was okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Let's
even have
do
to.
it.
Yeah.
This is literally the longest podcast, and I think when I still edit it, it'll still be the longest one.
Yeah.
I've ever
And I feel like we could go on and on and on with a
Yeah,
lot of
but
other
we'll
things.
definitely have
I
you
wasn't
back
lying
sometime
about
in the
part 1, part
future.
2, part 3. I
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
everything should be aired.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, air everything.
Everything that we just talked
Yeah,
about.
Okay, maybe not everything, but like yeah. Parts 1, 2, and 3 would be really
Yeah,
cool.
for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely put it on and listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you I
Thank
like
you.
hearing the sound of my voice.
Yeah, I know.
There's literally no need for my headphones right
No,
now.
we're just saying the same thing. Like his voice is like a radio
Built
voice.
for radio, yeah.
Podcast, radio.
Face.
I'm gonna show you the radio demo. Sorry.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna have to show you the
There
radio
you
demo.
go.
It's so corny.
What
It's
was
so
the what
cringe.
was the station? Do you still remember?
No, it's I basically just recorded it at home. So like if ever I pitched it to radios, I'd say this is a radio demo.
But in the Philippines, you used to do the radio
in
as well.
in Baguio, I worked for K Light 96.7 K Light.
I know K-Line.
You know K
Yeah,
Light?
of
And then
course.
in Manila, I worked for a online streaming radio show called You Are Face Radio.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
which was like it was a stream, so like there was a camera and everything. And it was I did that for like a few months. I
Of
think.
course, they had to put
So you
a
know,
camera.
like Sam
They had
YG
to.
and. all
Please
these-
don't say that name.
How many names have we dropped today in this episode? I'm gonna have to like.
I remember I interviewed Sam YG for a thing one time, and like he's cool. He's all right. They're okay, I guess.
We're gonna talk about
Let
it
me see if
after the
this is
show.
I think this might be it. Hold on. Nope.
And we are back. Welcome everybody to the Hadi Happy Hour. I came up with that name. I know, I have a gift. So I was in the shower, which obviously is the birthplace for almost every single genius idea in the world.
True.
And I thought to myself, if I had a radio show, what would it be called? Now, I love making people happy. My name rhymes with happy. And if ever I did have a show, it'd probably be for like an hour long. Because I do not think people can tolerate all this energy for longer than 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But Hattie, what if your show goes for longer than an hour? Honestly, I didn't think that far ahead, friend. I didn't think that through. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But listen, I'm here to make y'all laugh. Here to make y'all smile. Here to give away some prizes. And of course, here to play some good music. So if you guys are down for all of that, then stick around. Stop what you're doing for like a whole hour and just chill with me. If you're at work, then just let your boss know that you're listening to the Hattie Happy Hour. Matter of fact, invite your boss. This might even strengthen your relationship with them. Get you guys closer, you know what I mean? So don't go anywhere, all right? I'm annoying, I know. But listen, we're going to play a couple of ads after this, and then right after, we're going to jump straight into some new music. So sit tight, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of fun, okay? Okay.
Love it.
Corny, right? Cheesy,
No,
but
that's
like
so good.
I had
That's
to make
very
it.
radio.
I had to, that's
Yeah.
exactly. I had to go like a little wholesome, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little corny joke in there.
Did
you
you
know?
write a script for that, or just
Yeah, I
off
just
the
wrote
top of
that.
the?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love the background music to it as
Right?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Cool.
that's I think that's what matters the most.
Yeah.
It has to be perfect background music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes along with the voice.
Hattie Happy Hour. Would you listen to that show?
Yes, of course.
So
as long as
cheesy.
you play good music as well.
Yeah. That's really
'Cause
important.
That's
It's
important.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
Man
Yeah.
of many talents.
Yeah.
We're
Thank
looking
you for being
forward
here.
to the podcast for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely
yeah, so
gonna.
tell our audience what you where
Yeah.
they can find you, everything. that you
Oh,
wanna
definitely find me on TikTok and Instagram on Hadi Rushdy. That's
Right.
HADIRUSHDY. And add to the following, of course, but then like the content. I'm not saying like it like actually like it physically. Like it. If you like it, then like it. It's the most horrible way to sell it.
Like it from the bottom
Yeah.
of your heart.
Let me do
Yeah.
that again. Let me do
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah.
If you don't freaking go on my yeah.
You're so bad.
Feel
If you don't get on TikTok and give me this follow. No, but so I'm on those platforms. I'm on Facebook also, of course, because I'm Filipino. And if you guys want to like email me money or like, you know, I can
PayPal or
hypedads hypedhads@gmail.com. You know, like I'm always in the need for funds. So like I'm literally not even ashamed for asking, you know, like if you guys want to help the cause.
Yeah.
But yeah, find me on those platforms, and there's going to be a podcast coming soon, hopefully within the next month and a half, called The Fool and the Apprentice.
Yes.
And that's going to be nice, and you guys are going to be like maybe if ever guest number 2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're
Definitely
having
be there.
you brought up the podcast earlier. You brought up Karak Nights. So if you watched, have you seen?
I haven't
or
seen
heard anything?
any. I know of them, but I haven't.
Right. Aaron
given
is one of
them-
my good friends.
Okay.
He's one of the hosts. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I wanted the podcast to be me, him, and Malik, right?
Right.
And then I was just thinking about the dynamic, and you know, if Aaron has that and the things that we're going to be talking about, but I'll have him guest first also because I
Okay.
think there's a great dynamic with him. He's a great talker.
Yeah.
You know, just Kark Nights isn't. I feel like he can't fully be the podcaster that he can be.
Okay.
With that
That makes sense?
platform.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the
yeah.
platform. Yeah.
Love it. Love what they're
Yeah.
doing. Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think Aaron has so much potential also.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. So that's coming out. And also follow the 50C page, everybody, please.
Right.
It's 50C Ball, 50C.ball on TikTok, on Instagram. We're everywhere. It's going to be a household brand by the end of this year,
Nice.
for sure.
Nice.
And watch our games, Ball Above All games. I'm plugging in Soul, Ball Above All as well. Hear my commentary in the games that are to come for Sportsmania. That's another thing that I'm plugging as well. And watch me MC the nearest event.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come support you guys whenever you guys have open mic.
Yes.
When are you gonna do open mic?
I was gonna do one on Saturday, but it's moved to Friday. But I think I have a thing already. So
This
yeah,
Friday?
next week. Yeah.
Friday or Saturday?
So it's now moved to Friday.
Who's gonna be there?
It's one of Ima's rooms. So it's,
Okay.
It's a comedy Drunch. So there's like
Okay.
5 comedians coming in.
Oh, nice. Okay, okay. Well, I'll be there.
Awesome.
I'll be there with Sarah. Yeah, we'll
Nice.
come. We'll
Thank
definitely
you.
come.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll
That's
heckle
awesome.
a little bit. But
And then
Bring
he
in
asked
the
him
bag.
to
Here's the
the
thing.
stage. Yeah.
make that same McDonald's joke, and I will laugh my ass off.
No, I already retired that joke.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
Come on, bring it
retired
back. If you made that joke, I'd just be like, "Who is this guy?
There's
so
another
fucking hilarious."
There's another joke that I think would be funnier, which I'm sure you'll bring.
Come
up
on.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the-
I need to. Come on. This is a crowd.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No.
What's the joke?
I don't tell my jokes on my podcast, and whoever asks me to tell a joke in person, I'm like, no, you come on, see me on stage, and I'll do it
Gotcha,
for you.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm one of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If I freestyled something, would you tell me a joke? Or just do a bit, or just do like one of your things.
Okay, I'll just say my opening joke for you.
Okay,
but
okay.
I want you to freestyle first.
Yes.
Okay. No
Let's do
beat,
it.
acapella.
You want
Do
me to
it.
beatbox?
All right.
God,
Yo.
let's not do that.
Okay, acapella. Let's do this.
Okay, here we go. Freestyle acapella. Sick ass beat, but not by this fella. Half Indian, half Filipino. 3 of us here, yeah, you know how we go. On the podcast, and we do it so
That's right.
good. From Sharjah, yeah, the best neighborhood. They come from Dara, you know they ghetto. Every time they do this, this is how we do. I keep it on the lock and I keep it on the grind. Everybody knows I got the rhymes in my mind. There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna say one joke. Here's my
You
joke.
have to.
So
You
like,
have
okay,
to.
so this is, it's opening, right? So like, okay, Ema says, let's say Ema's like big now, right? She's got like 50,000 people in the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a host, right? I'm the host.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to Ema's show. This is Hadi. I'm so happy to be here. You guys are in for a treat. We have an opener for you. He's a great comedian, up and coming. He, like me, he's half Filipino. The other half, I'm not so sure about. But he's amazingly funny, and he's got a hot girlfriend also, whom he met on Tinder.
Yeah.
Please give it up, everybody, for the McDonald's employee, Joshua.
We walk on stage with some G-Eazy and then.
Oh, G-Eazy? Which song?
The first time I ever did comedy, is it still running?
Yeah. Hold on.
The first time I ever did comedy, I did walk onto stage with G-Eazy, and that was a complete flop. Which song was it? The one, if I hit it one time, I'm a
If I
fighter.
put, yeah. If I hit it 2 times, I like
Yeah.
Nah, nah,
I love
nah,
G-Eazy.
nah.
I love white rappers more.
Right,
It
right,
sucks
right.
to say, but yeah, I prefer white rappers.
Yeah, you're racist. It's okay.
So if it's an international audience, I'll be like, "Hey guys, thanks for being here. My name is Joshua. I'm half Indian and half Filipino, which basically makes me the best call center agent in the world."
Yes. yes. That's the first one. That's the first joke. Okay.
That's my
okay,
opening
okay,
joke. Or, but I usually do another one, which is like, if it's more darker, then I go into the dark route and I say,
Right.
I'll tell you like off air because I don't want
When's the comedy gonna start?
When is it gonna start, dude?
this thing.
When are you gonna be funny? That's the word. Yeah.
Who are you? Is
Yeah,
you the
yeah.
comedian?
Yeah.
But you should start hosting as well. Like you should start hosting
you
the
should
shows.
Host a show at least.
I'll think about it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that would be cool.
I mean, honestly, it would be to support you and emo.
yeah.
Have you
know?
ever seen Ima on stage?
No, just only through social media.
Oh, so you never met her?
I'm not even sure if we met.
I think
Wait,
that would
did
be
we?
really cool. Yeah.
I'm so unaware. Hold on a second. Did we meet? I'm gonna have to ask her. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna have to ask her. I'm not so sure. I don't think so.
Then come on Friday because it's her room and she'll definitely be there.
Okay.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't call me up,
No.
because if you do, then I might just kill everybody, and everybody's gonna be like, "Why isn't this guy on?" Then I'll just take everybody's thunder.
Like bring back.
Like,
bring
no,
him back.
don't. I don't want to go. All right, fine. I have like a list of
Hadi
jokes.
back.
Yeah.
He has like 30 minutes
You're
off the
so
top of his
prepared.
dome. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So prepared for everything.
No, that'd be horrible. I'll definitely come. We're coming. Plug that also on my thing as well. So where's it gonna be?
in Media City in the Holiday Inn, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, Holiday Inn.
Like a stage.
Yeah, it's in a bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a stage in the bar.
Yeah. So they have like people do other open mics there as well. But
Okay.
this night is purely for the comedy
Okay.
fans.
She wants me to do like. I'm not gonna do music.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think you
She's
should.
like, come and rap. Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ima in the beginning, she used to do a room called Kickers, and the beginning is like when the audience is coming in, they would have like a music.
I know Kicker. That's how I know Ema. There was a guy who's in your club, in the comedy club. He's like a local comedian.
Who?
I think his name is Abdulaziz or something.
Abs Ali.
Maybe, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was working a stall at Seoul BXB.
Oh yeah. He's been to Seoul. He's a big.
He'd come to Seoul. He'd come to the thing. I think we exchanged like some banter. And
Right.
he's like, "Oh, you're Filipino. Oh my god!" And he got so intrigued by the fact that I was part Filipino, and then he showed me the Ima basically, and then we followed each other.
Right.
And then me and Ima hit it off the bat, like just socially.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she's at the end we'd laugh at the same stuff, and then I think that's how we became friends. And then she tried to hook me up with that girl. yeah.
How beautiful
Fatima.
mixed race babies.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just, and now she's trying to get the people who did they did like an interview on her or something, the Philippine something. Now she's like, I'm gonna get them to interview you and stuff. Yeah.
Like
so she's just really,
Philippine Love Emirates, something like that.
Something like that,
Emirates
yeah,
loves
yeah, yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I've seen it.
I don't know if they have a big platform or anything, but
I think they're trying to get there.
Okay.
They're getting there, I guess.
Yeah, like a OFW page sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, which is
So I'll
good.
see, yeah. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that she's pushing for halfies
really
and
is.
Filipino. Yeah.
She's really trying to put Philippines on
On
the
the map.
Middle East map. Yeah. Which is good.
She's even when Fahad did comedy, she was really rooting for him. Like,
Right.
do it even more.
I hope
But
he
did
gets
like
back.
he did like 2 or 3 mics, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But he was also very good for a first timer. He was very good.
How do you write your jokes?
I always write down a premise at the beginning and I try to develop it. But I wanted to move more into like a storytelling kind of comedy, like Hassan Minhaj. I don't know if
Okay,
you know him.
yeah.
Oh man, when I saw his special, The Homecoming King, I was like, I need to write more of this because mine is all like gags, like dick
Right.
jokes, and all this kind of stuff. But I wanted
Right.
like like the Philippines and Indian struggle, me trying to find my identity. Like
Yeah.
born in a Muslim country in a
Right.
Christian household, but going to a Catholic school.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
St. Mary's.
Yeah, I went to St. Mary's.
Are you Gab?
I swear to God.
Dude, I feel he's me in a different universe.
All
Like,
my click growing up was from St. Mary's.
thank you for being here once again. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Please do like and subscribe to this video. Follow.
Blow this podcast up, guys.
Yeah, you have to. We have to.
It's
Let's
the first
make
one
it-
of the year.
Yeah, it's the first one of the year. So happy New Year again.
Happy New Year.
Subscribe, like, follow us, follow everyone, and
Thank you guys for everything.
yeah. And on that note,
Have a nice day.
Oh, nice. You have a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you say
Yeah, but
happy nice day? You say that right.
Half
A nice day. Like
Half
have
a
a
nice
nice day, but
Right.
instead of have.
So you're
half.
literally telling people you hope that their second half of the day is bad.
Exactly.
Right.
No, we're saying have a nice day, but in half.
Oh, I didn't even think of
Wait,
that. Yeah,
that's
like
true.
Have a nice day. May your other half go to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
May it not be as good as the other
As
half.
the other half. Exactly. Yeah.
okay, let's end that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Nice.
That was
That was so dope.